The music always makes me happy.
It gets you going.
It makes me dance a little bit, yes.
Get a two-step in.
Hey, y'all, hey. We are.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm just sharing it out.
Sal is here, day one, A1, first minute, okay?
Always first comment.
I appreciate it. How are y'all lovely people this evening?
Good.
Hey.
Alexa.
Flying through January. Look at the day. 17th already.
Season.
He said he see you Miss Pink and White.
It's W2 season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, tax season, baby.
Oh, I love that. I'm excited.
Get your kids, get someone else's kids.
No.
Fill them if you have to.
Every year, it's less and less, and less and less.
Sure enough is.
They're supposed to be running it back to the 2020 when we had that nice little fat check for taxes. So they're supposed to be bringing back some of those tax incentives that the orange Cheeto put into place. So they're supposed to do that, but they never do it the right way. So
of course,
allegedly. Okay.
Allegedly.
I don't believe anything. So until it happens,
leave me and my coins alone.
I'm trying to get me another kid. My kid's getting too old. The older they get, the less money I get back for them. So,
well, look, I got 0 kids. That's the only thing. Every time they hear, you know what? I can put up with him. I can do it. We can have a kid together. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Taking care of niggas, you should be able to claim niggas. Fuck, you don't gotta be 18. If I'm taking care of a grown ass person, I'm gonna need you to give me a write off.
Exactly. No.
Was that dependent of all ages? Let me get that. If I can prove it, give me the money.
I don't know who you are, Facebook user. Identify yourself, please, and thank you.
No more kids. Honestly, it's not worth it. Oh my gosh, kids. That's kids.
Sal, you better go knock somebody up.
Suck it dry.
Go shoot up the club.
I'm gonna give you some tips from Dr. Umar this evening so that you can find the love of your life.
Your African queen.
Your African queen, or your Latino black identifying African queen.
Afro-Latinos.
Yo, I gotta rewatch that whole thing. I could not.
I listened to it while I'm at work, so It's easy. I'm just typing and listening.
I'm looking forward to y'all filling me in because I didn't watch it on purpose because I want to hear the bullshit.
Oh, listen, I got you. Not only did I listen to it, I took extensive notes.
Oh,
Okay.
God, is that a syllabus from Dr. Umar himself? What the fuck?
What's crazy?
He'd be so proud.
Yeah.
In case he comes across this.
What killed me is while I was watching it, the Mr. and Mrs. Smith trailer for the new show coming out came across. I was like, ooh, that's a bad look.
I don't know. Someone tag Dr. Umar, see if he can jump in.
Oh, hey, Carolyn. I'm like, who is Facebook user? Hey, Carolyn. Just say it's C Murder, and I know who it is.
There you go.
Welcome, everyone, to Unicorn Straight No Chaser, where you come for the shenanigans, but you stay for the debauchery. We are going to have BK and Bass most likely jumping in at some point in time. I don't know where. Niggas, okay. Sorry, that's probably
internet connection, man.
That's probably not Umar approved for me to say. But niggas always
you gotta say Black Kings.
CP time.
Okay. CP time.
Anyway, later on in the show, we are going to be discussing a kink called feederism.
It's called nom kink.
Nom kinks. I love it.
Every time I see that picture, and they got Dr. Umar judging them right then and there.
It's feederism, aka feeder kink. We're gonna get into that later on. First, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. We do not have just the best, unfortunately, this evening. I want everybody to give her some love. Put some blue hearts in the chat because she is grieving the loss of her grandfather today. So she lost her grandfather to cancer, unfortunately. Fuck cancer. So we are giving her big hugs and sending her positive energy, peace, healing, all of that. So we got King Kurt Live is behind the scenes today.
I knew it was going to be.
No, that's not narcissistic at all.
I like how I was in the corner just looking up at him like, oh, how hurt?
Not Diddy.
Oh my God, no! I don't want Diddy sending me no love, and I'm sure the gentleman don't either.
Nope.
Take that
over there. Listen, if I ever met Diddy in a dark alley, me and him knuckling up, I will lose my life over this.
Oh, and you know what? I hope King Kirk is on top of this because I forgot to tell him to add this to our assets. But there is a Royal Rumble watch party that is going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, January the 27th. It's going to be hosted by Unapologetically Black, which is new. They're new here on the HNIC network, but they're coming in with a bang. They're doing well. So y'all support them January 27th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Royal Rumble watch party for all my wrestling fans. Okay. Dark match has returned. All right. Also, support us poor struggling content creators. If you enjoy the debauchery that we give you this evening, please consider giving us some stars. Because Curtis don't give us nothing. He treat us like redheaded stepchildren.
We chain to the stove every day.
You said you changed to the stove.
We chain to the stove every day.
Put out content. Produce content. Put your titties out.
show me your titties. Show me your titties.
Yeah.
Fuck you. On the low.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Sorry.
That's your one. That's your big one for the night, Curtis. Your big one.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. This is
You are not Jess. You don't get to drop anybody because you are not Jessica.
Oh my God.
She is still God. She is still our Lord and Savior, just the best. Okay. And anybody out there, if you watch the replay, if you in the comments now, if you want to get started on a podcast, I'm the EP for the show. Please hit me up with my DMs, not with dick pics, but concerning business.
Especially dick pics.
No dick pics. Business.
No, circumcised dick pics.
And King Kurt Live is the co-executive producer sometimes when he's available for the show. We can help you with it. If you have a podcast and you don't know how to gain visibility, if you want to start a podcast but you don't know where to start, Head Nerds in Charge Network can help you with that. Okay. Sal said, "Put your titties on live, and I'll give you I will get y'all shut down. You not get me in trouble.
I mean, $1,000 for a month band.
Oh
yeah, you take that up with Curtis. I don't want to hear his mouth. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
If it was around Christmas time, I'd probably use it.
Take your titties out. Somebody take your titties out. Yeah.
This is not the main show. I thought that was Tuffy's theme song. This is not the main show. All right, y'all. So for the first half of our show, we are going to be discussing for our mental health topic, Black love and Black relationships. What is the solution to the problems within the community where people are not finding wives, people are not finding husbands? How do we heal the divide? And so I came across an interview that was done on Hardly Initiated. Shout out to them. I had never heard of their podcast before, but they had Dr. Umar on, and I had to suffer through a 3-hour interview with Dr. Umar. Now, listen, I'm not saying that the man is not intelligent. He's intelligent, but he's also on some bullshit as well. And ain't nothing worse than an educated fuckboy. There is nothing worse.
Educated fuckboy.
So tonight, we are going to be dissecting, discussing, debating some of the things that Dr. Umar said on that interview. We may have to do 2 parts because it was a lot. He had a lot to say, and he's very opinionated, and he has some radical ideas. Yep. So, if it starts going long, then we will go ahead and break it into 2 parts and come back next week and discuss some more. I can't do a whole show just talking about Dr. Umar. I can't do it. I gotta break it up. So when he started off the show, right, it's supposed to be about Black relationships and Black love, and he goes on to say that the 70s were the beginning of the economic disintegration of the Black community. He's saying that, they stripped the Black man of his ability to earn, and that once upon a time you could be a laborer and you could earn a decent wage, but they eliminated those trades. They took those courses out of the schools and shut down a lot of those plants. So that the 70s was the start of the Black man economically being made irrelevant to the Black woman. Okay. So he's like, a man's responsibility is to protect and to provide. Now, the man could still protect, but he was no longer able to provide in the way that he was accustomed to. And so he felt as if he said women, but I'm going to say people in general, because it's not just women that are ignorant of history. Right? Exactly. I'm not going to take that away from him. That actually, is a big issue, and I do think that it contributed to a lot of the relationship issues that we are having now. But it wasn't just women that are ignorant of this. I think people in general would be ignorant of this, right? Our race is the only race of women that out earn the men. So I already knew that that is true. We make more money than our men. As Black women, we are more educated than our men, right? We have more Black women have college degrees than Black men. So according to him, this is by design. This is all the setup in the conspiracy.
By the man.
By the man.
Oh, man.
By the man. Okay. And I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't know that they put that much thought into it, but this is what he's saying. So
I'm the man.
he goes on to say that dating and mating is the new drug, right? So instead, this is what we do. We date and get into relationships to escape and to cope with life instead of taking accountability for our Hey, Daquan. Really? So we wrap ourselves up in a woman or a man so we don't have to deal with our own emotional health. I would agree with that. I do agree with that. I probably have been guilty of that if I think about it. You know what I mean? I want to think about this. Let me just go get some penis real quick.
On the bye.
No, yeah, I sleep a lot better when I had a little penis. You know what I'm saying? So, I would be inclined to agree with that. Have y'all ever been guilty of
yeah.
I would say yeah.
No, I never got into a relationship just to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's how I got connected to like a lot of people, I guess you could say, because I don't think it's just about being like sexual or intimate with a person. It's just like keeping yourself busy so you don't have. So like for me, especially before I did a lot more growing in myself, I was attaching myself to people, being that people pleaser, trying to make sure, what do you need? What can I do? So a lot of things I had to talk myself out to grow out of was, just because I can do something doesn't mean it's necessary, right? Because I'm giving and pouring myself into somebody who doesn't really need me and doesn't really want that. And then I would feel some type of hurt when I didn't get it reciprocated. That's not the responsibility. That was my fault.
Right.
Right. And people were doing that in relationships. They only, but I think the quickness of it is sex.
Yep. And for me in my early 20s, I was for a while in my early adulthood, I was a serial monogamous. So I would get out of one relationship and go into the next one because I just need to wrap myself up in this person. My life wasn't that great. It was okay. It was like a typical, 20-something guy's life, but I didn't really have a lot of prospects. And when I finally broke out of that habit and I actually started bettering myself, that's when things got better. But like sometimes you just need to wrap yourself in somebody to just like, it's like a form of escapism. Same way we watch TV and we play video games. Some people use sex and relationships and that whole cycle to make their lives more exciting and enjoyable when they could just like be better about that.
That's true. Now, Carty, you want to sit here and tell me that you never had sex with somebody as a means of just escaping?
No, that's different. I was a straight whore.
Relationship.
I wouldn't date folks that have sex. I would just have sex with people.
Yeah.
I wasn't attaching myself as a coping mechanism or a getaway for a relationship or a bond with somebody. I just need to get a nut off. I didn't care who the fuck from. I'll just be honest. I was fast when I was young. I was fast.
I think that qualifies. That qualifies.
Oh yeah, on the other side of the coin, yeah, it qualifies. But I ain't, getting out to be in relationships. Nah, I ain't got time. I was busy. I was working. I was hustling. If I had time to get one on somewhere, I'd get one on somewhere. But yeah.
All right,
the stress relief. That stress relief is on up there, bro.
But I think that's where it comes because I think if you're not really privy to it, if you're really not acknowledging it with yourself, the biggest tell, at least I know for me, like when it hit me in those, post nut clarity type shit, was literally when I was like, I don't even like this person. Why am I here? And I'm like, I don't think I need to be here. I was like, I need to do right. I need to leave. I need to do whatever the case.
Clarity.
Yeah.
Like,
you look bad, bro. That's why just walk away.
Just masturbate.
Yeah.
And you don't hit to call him over. Daquan said I was wilding in my 20s overseas, just hitting everything they move. I chilled out once I got to my late 20s.
That's right. He's into it.
Yeah.
He's into it.
You balls to the walls from like 18 to 25, and you slow down. on the back end.
So
Right.
he went on to say that a large part of it, right, the other issue is fast forward. Now we have established that the man cannot provide, and then we have women who are scorned and hurt, and they're angry, and so they have daughters, and then they pass down their
Mm-hmm.
their bad views on men. Like they don't even give
Mhm.
the child an opportunity to formulate her own thoughts and opinions on relationships and dating. They pass down their hurt that
Generational
they have
trauma.
down to the daughter, right? So then there you have the
No.
angry black woman. With Jazz, I see you want to say something.
So I had an issue with that because I feel like, as much as I agree that we are taught and brought up in a certain way, we see certain things we're taught. That's it. The mothers are the first teachers, the parents are the first teachers. I get that. However, it's up to you at a point as an individual, growing up from younger or even as an adult, to choose how you're going to live. I grew up where what he was saying, he was like, the women, the mom were teaching the daughters not to trust men, not to. I was taught the same thing. I was literally grew up to taught that men are going to cheat on you. You're supposed to be okay with it. You're supposed to be okay if your man comes home late, cheats, as long as he pays your bills and takes care of you. That's it. I didn't want that life. I never was bitter because I knew all men. Like when I was younger, of course, because you have to grow out of it. But it's a
Mhm.
situation where it's just like you have to hold accountability. If you want a life with a good partner or somebody who's going to treat you right, you can only let into somebody who's your same mental capacity, right? To
Mm-hmm.
see
Exactly.
where you want to be at, where you're going to be at, with your same goals. Sometimes that's not always going to be. It's not going to be forever all the time. Maybe you're only here for a journey,
But
not
you
the
know
whole
Mm-hmm.
what,
time.
Jazz? I gotta interject because you are not like the
Mhm.
typical woman,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like we are more so a minority where okay, we can
Mhm.
be critical thinkers. A lot of
Mhm.
people are not critical
Mhm.
thinkers, and so
They're
what
sheep.
their parents sow into
Mhm.
them, that is what they
Yeah.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Some people grow up and they learn, and a lot of people
Yeah.
they don't. Also, if it's the father that the mother
Mhm.
is angry at, and
Mhm.
he's not a good father either, so he's not a good
Mhm.
and he's also not a good
Yeah.
father, then
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
she's
Doesn't help
like,
the
you know what,
case.
my mom is
Yeah.
right, my dad ain't shit.
Yeah.
And so that is their first lesson on black men, and
True.
it
Well,
follows.
and I'm not saying that that's not going to have a connection or instilled in someone, but I'm saying at one point, if I see somebody who, like, let's say my father wasn't a good father, or
Mm-hmm,
my mom wasn't a good mom, and I see myself not trusting men, women just the same. I don't trust nobody. I'm the type of person I don't trust nobody, but I take care of everybody.
mm-hmm,
So it's what part am I going to be responsible? Not just for me, just any person. If I'm unhappy in my circle, in my life, something has to give and change, even if it's little steps. Like when he was also speaking, I guess we'll touch a little bit later, but when he was saying that, like, we hold that with us and then we just don't, we get become even more bitter. We become more, no, like, at least again for me, for through my journey, I told myself that I'm still gonna love hard. I'm still gonna be
Mm-hmm.
myself, because not that's when I want to find my king. That's when I want to find somebody who's gonna cherish me like the queen I am, the person I am. So if they're not going to treat me like my mom and my dad, whatever, that's not a problem for me, because at the end of the day, that was my journey with them. But again, everybody's different. Everybody has their own journey.
right,
Everybody has their own traumas they got to work through. I just
right.
did mine's a little different. And
Daquan
I'm still spicy.
Daquan said, "Why would someone teach their child that?" Daquan, all mothers are not good mothers. All fathers are not good fathers,
Mm-hmm.
and
It is.
and
Survival tactics.
a lot of times parents see their children as mirrors and reflections of themselves,
And they trying
and
to
Mhm.
do.
so
Mm-hmm.
they put into them what they already have in themselves. So the
Mm-hmm.
hurt that's in them, I want you to feel that same hurt. I don't want you to do better than me. I don't want you to think better than me. Like I want you to
Yeah.
go through the exact same things that I've
Mm-hmm.
been through.
That parental jealousy.
That sounds
Exactly.
crazy, but I'm telling you
It
that is
happens
true.
all the time.
As
Mm-hmm.
somebody whose mother is that jealous, competitive mother, it is 100% a thing. Sal said I was taught that a woman should be seen and not heard.
Oh my
Now,
God,
Mm-hmm.
so.
that has probably been
Get your
passed
ass back in the
through
kitchen.
generations, so they don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Or
And as Sal said, you can trust him.
Mm-mm. Not with
I would
that.
also say the women who project what they want in a man on their kids. So
Mhm.
you see them kids all
Oh
dressed
yeah,
up, all
no.
proper and a little chain. Oh, my prince, and all that.
Oh,
That
that's
shit ain't
not
healthy either. Like
It's not.
you can't raise your son to be like your fucking pretend boyfriend. It ain't
Right.
fucking
It's
cool,
called
Exactly.
and it ain't right.
And what's
Stop it.
crazy is
parental
when we
insight.
get
What is it called? It's something. I forget. It's like a term for
Yeah, I
it.
know it has a name for it.
I'm
Go
trying
ahead,
to think. It's
Devil.
um
what?
Devil was trying to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
oh no, I was saying that a lot of times when the people get these things in their head, uh it prevents them from getting the thing that they exactly want. So like when you have all of these generational traumas, all these issues and stuff like that, and you're pulling all that into yourself,
Mhm.
it's hard to it's when you only see one thing going on in your life, it's hard to look outside of that and try to find something more. And then you also go out into the world and you put that out into the world and you run across people like I would say us who are more on it when we know ourselves, we're more emotionally intelligent and just create problems. So that's one of the big things too,
Some,
is
some
running
of
into
us,
people.
some of us are
Yeah.
more emotionally intelligent. Remember, Carty's on the panel.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
I'm just messing with you.
Scares motherfuckingly. Like,
So, so one of the other things that he wanted to say is that he feels as if money and sex play too large of a role in our relationships, and that a lot of people don't want to be in a relationship. They actually want to have a pleasure contract. So, what is a pleasure contract? Curtis, can you play the pleasure contract video, please?
Money and sex play too big of a role in our relationships. Sex is important, money is important, but they should not be the be all and end all of whether or not the relationship is going to make sense. And if money and sex are dominating the relationship is being ran on a superficial structure because money runs out. How you perform in bed, that will dim over time too. So we cannot be coming together for money and sex.
I agree.
Now, I actually agree with that. Okay. He said that
Allow me to suck up.
Pleasurable.
he said that relationships require accountability and obligation, meaning I'm accountable to you whether I'm mad at you or not. And your long term well being is my responsibility and my priority. A lot of people do not want a relationship. They want a pleasure contract. So they want you to come over sometime and y'all have sex and maybe y'all go out to eat. But anything that is beyond that is only superficial. So it's nothing deeper than that.
That's a situational ship. That's what that
Yeah,
is.
Yep.
it's like a
But
opinion.
that's what he said. A lot of people, that is what they want. That there actually is things that lay out what a foundation of a healthy relationship is. So the first one would be humility and not ego. Okay, you got to have the ability to be humble. Don't date when you have low self esteem. Okay,
And so,
if you know that you have low self esteem and only you know how you feel about you, right? You also can't hide it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go into a relationship with low self esteem, eventually the person that you're with is going to recognize that. Now the problem with that is whether or not the person has your well being in mind or your best interest in mind. Because if it's a narcissist, he got you. If
Mm-hmm.
it's somebody that is going to be emotionally or physically abusive, he got you. Like predators
hmm
can smell low self esteem on you. So
right.
you're setting yourself up if you know that you have low self esteem and you decide to get into a relationship, you really need to
Exactly.
work on yourself and then try to date. Um, then there was another step. He was saying that you need to be a reflective listener, right? Which means Curtis, can you play that don't get bitchy clip for me, please?
I got to be humble enough to remain quiet while she's expressing her points about me. Everything she just said may be wrong. She may have accused me of cheating. She may have accused me of all kinds of things. But guess what? This is her truth in this moment. Let me shut the fuck up. Let her say what she needs to say. When she's done, reflective listening. Baby, you believe the reason I came home at 1:00 last night because I was over my baby mom's. Is that how you feel? Do you believe that? Okay, let me try to prove it. You see? Let me try to prove to you that I was not there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The problem with us, because most of us was raised by women, we get a little. You see that? So when our queen we want to get bitchy right back. That's not the behavior of a man. That's not masculine. Masculinity says she's in her pain. And because she's in her pain, I'm going to validate her, even if she's incorrect, because I don't ever want her to feel that I don't understand.
Now, how do you gentlemen feel about that?
I feel like that's spot.
Shut up.
Nigga, please. Like, no.
No, I feel like that's spot on. You just gotta let her vent. Like just like when you're venting. Like, so think of it. I always think of it like this. I want to treat someone like I want to be treated. When I'm venting and when I have something to say, I don't want to keep getting cut off. I don't want to keep having to like double back and explain, and then you keep having to explain certain things, and you move away from the point that you were trying to get to. Your train of thought gets knocked off, and now you can't make the point that you wanted to. Let someone talk and get their point out, and then you respond, and then you respond with active listening, and not just like a listening for you to stop, and then I'm just gonna say whatever I want to.
Carty.
Yeah. I believe that. And just when you do it, make sure you have a notepad out, or she's gonna run through 50 11 things, and you gotta make sure you hit every point. Let's try to remember all that shit at one time.
When that Curtis says validating any incorrect behavior is counterproductive. So,
No, I wouldn't say that.
in his opinion, her, accusing him of doing something that he did not do, that's an incorrect behavior to him. And so you shouldn't validate that. That's what he's trying to say. Now, the way I took it was, okay, she's accusing you of something, but I guess as long as she's doing it, she's expressing herself right,
Respectfully,
without aggression. So if she's not like, nigga, I'll fuck you up, boop, 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 you know what I'm saying? As long as if she's like, yo, where you been at? Because I feel like you've been out in the streets with some hoe or whatever. Like, let her get it out and then correct it.
And then you
But like he was saying, the men get bitchy too. Is like, instead of saying, no, I was with the guys, we was playing Magic. We was playing Magic.
In the sane state.
The man be like, why the fuck you doing all that? Like, maybe I was out fucking some bitch. Like, the way you was, maybe I should. Like, and I feel like we all guilty of that.
I would make a slumber. Sometimes that's needed too.
Hey, BK. I don't know. Y'all saying the right things, but I feel like behind closed doors, they ain't exactly how it goes.
It's not
That's how it should go. But when things are in the moment, things get off the rails. So
Carty, how you really respond? Like, come on, tell the truth, shame the devil. You known for saying what you want to say, regardless of who likes it or not. So tell the truth.
Unfortunately, that's it. I mean, it depends on the situation, because that's something I had to work on in the past, that I was very reactory. So if you start at level 10, I'm gonna match you at level 10, and it was like that for a long time. So now I've learned to dial it back. So it's a lot better now, and it's easier for me to communicate. But the tongue is still sharp as hell. So I'm still working on that too. But it's doable. It is doable. And just respectfully, if you can do it respectfully, that would be the key thing. But it takes two. It takes two. So if you're at 100 and I'm telling you to come down to 60, but you go to 120 instead, there's no point on me wasting my breath.
Yeah.
That's when you get, I'm gonna just head out. I'm gonna let you, and then you get,
cool.
you fucking run away from me. All that shit happens. So.
Mortal Aaron said, I really believe people need to stop being in relationships if they're not fully secure and can't trust their partners. Darius, you were about to say something.
I was going to say that a lot of the times, if in situations like that where she's at her peak and she's going off, if you let her get it out, it's like expunging poison. She's spitting out that venom, and then once she's done spitting that venom out, she's going to come down to a calmer level, and then you point out the inconsistencies in the conversation and where it went wrong, like basically giving, like, and I'm not doing this for that reason, but like you can give somebody rope to hang themselves. She's gonna say all these things, and I'm like, well, this
the most important part. You just said it. She's spitting out poison. By the time it's turn, you're poison. You got poison all over you. You
Listen, I
ain't
got a
gonna
few.
keep it. that's
I'm
that's
trying
the
to
hardest
do it.
part.
I guess I'm just really even tempered about stuff like that because I grew up in a house full like I grew up in chaos. Like
Same.
I was the oldest of three. I was like the man in the house, making sure everything got taken care of, making sure everything was done. I've always been like a protector, and I've always been like the voice of reason. So a lot of
Mhm.
times I'll let somebody say what they got to say, and then I'm like, you fucked up, right?
Yeah,
I'll
I'm the
I'll
same way.
I'll destroy your argument, and I'm like, listen, this is why all things you're saying don't make sense, and here's the proof. Now, can we move past this, and can we really talk about what's really going on or what's really upsetting you? Because I know that's
Yeah.
not just that. There's more behind it than just that.
Hmm.
That's true. Now
Oh
that is
yeah,
that's
that's
true.
another 100% on that one. And then
That's true.
you're talking about accountability, and Lord knows you don't want to go there. So,
Listen, you
mm,
Example,
can.
Cardi. Why should you take
mm.
advantage of false allegations if you can easily dispel it before it escalates? But well, because Curtis, like Devil said, is something more to it, right? For
Exactly.
somebody to be primed to believe that you out there doing dirt, let's just use that as an example, because that's the example he used, that you was out in the streets doing something. Why was she so ready to believe that you was out there doing dirt? Now it could be two things. One, it could be that she got her own trauma that she is projecting
Hmm.
onto you, which needs to be addressed. You need to discuss
Hmm.
it. Two, you could be doing some things and moving funny
But you
Yeah.
don't realize.
Cause
that is makes
suspicion.
and you maybe you
Right.
realize it, maybe you don't. That
Hmm.
is making her anxious.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Oh shit, should have served you.
Whatever.
No,
Whatever.
I have a perfect example of this, by the way.
Okay.
Like earlier this week, me and my girl, we was talking, and she brought up to me that she doesn't like how I turn my phone off when she comes in the room and starts talking to me. She said it comes off as very shady,
Hmm.
right? And then when we had a conversation, I was like, hey, you know what? It's not what it looks like. When you come in and talk to me, I turn my phone off and I turn it upside down, so I make sure I have focus on what you're saying and not being distracted
Thank you,
about
Cardi.
all the notifications going off on my phone. But
Hmm.
I acknowledge that I see that it could look that way if you're trying to look for something that comes off that way,
Hmm.
but that's not what it is. And then I was like, you know what? In the future, if you want me to leave it face up and on, I will do that for you. But just know if my eyes go like this, you know, ticking back and forth, you know. So he said, wait, hold on. That's Cardi knows the haircut. Cardi. Ah, shit, it threw me the fuck off.
Ah!
But
So Sal said
but
that's a
yeah,
problem already. You guys are communicating too much. It's not about talking, it's about giving her the lumber to make her slumber.
see
And while
that's
she's doing
fucking
it, I'll be expressing myself all over her face.
Why
Um,
can't you do both?
Curtis said, "Ain't no woman of color addressing cheating allegations respectfully." I want to say this might be Carolyn. She said, "I think the word that should have been used is acknowledge. Don't validate it because that submission it sounds patronizing."
Hmm.
Genocide, hey
right.
genocide baby. He said, "I'll play magic." um, Sal said respectfully, I don't even like that word. Do it disrespectfully. I respect you if you do. Okay. Come
so,
on now.
so
Hey,
I'll just be.
hey, Aisha. We accuse you of neglect before we accuse you of cheating. Pay attention. Aisha,
Hmm.
that's a word. Now that is a word.
Hmm.
100%. Before we
Oh,
get to the cheating, we going to say something about the way you moving.
hey, Isha
Um,
girl.
Sal said, I'm not liking this at all. You guys are over here coming up with rational thoughts and shit.
Sol is the
Um,
king of the gutter.
Immortal Air is from IG. Shout out to everybody that's watching us on IG. We
Hmm.
appreciate y'all. I'm so happy we can stream on IG now. A
I
lot
know,
of people
right?
don't know what it is to have healthy communication. Yes, because they grew up in an environment where people were not communicating um,
Hmm.
emotional maturity.
Emotional
So
Hmm.
intelligence. That's what I like to call it.
both.
King
Um,
of the gutter.
your name for the
Mm,
night is Haircut
mature
Cardi.
emotions.
Uh,
Should I address this now? Because I know y'all been seeing me for a year now, and I always had the beard. And in the new year, I cut it off because things are tied to stress and stuff, and you
Hmm.
carry things in your muscles and your fibers. And cutting it off is just a fresh start for the new year. Trust me, I will have the fucking freeway in about 2 months.
They
So
are displeased.
you got like maybe 6 to 7 weeks of me like this, and then next thing you know, it's just gonna be just back to me. So
All right, so y'all just keep coming back every work to watch the Chia Pet
I think
progress.
it's yeah.
Beard Watch 2024.
Bro, it's not that bad. I mean, I look like a fucking Tubi Joe Button, but
You do.
it is
Pump,
what it is.
pump, pump it up.
Persona non
Somebody
grata.
though.
Hey, baby, welcome.
Yo, I'm
Welcome.
done. That's in my head all night now.
Yeah, everyone likes to laugh. It'll be back.
Persona non grata said that sounds like perception versus reality. Zena said, "Hey Zena, honestly, I've gotten more quieter as I've gotten older. I'm 20 and I will no longer fight for a reputation, but I know doesn't align with who I am."
Stand on business right there. I like that.
Carolyn said they done cut off Carty's beard. No wonder he talking crazy.
How am I talking crazy? We need
Oh,
to have
you
a
got one. You got
conversation.
one vote for haircut Carty. Reba says she likes this lady. Hey Reba, baby. All right. So foundation of a healthy relationship. We got humility. Don't date with low self-esteem. We have reflective listening, and then we have communication. Curtis, please play the mind reader video.
PK just not seeing it.
DK stress.
In a relationship with a woman who needs you to read her mind, that is an emotionally immature woman, and you need to end it. A woman should be able to tell a man what she wants and how she feels. And a man should be able to tell a woman what he wants and how he feels, because it goes both ways. Whenever you're in a relationship and somebody expects you to read their mind, as I've often said to sisters, I'm a psychologist, not a psychic. You understand? I observe and evaluate. I can't read. You see? So tell me how you feel. The reason why a lot of sisters would rather us feel them out than communicate to us how they feel is they're afraid of rejection. They don't want to verbalize it because they're afraid it may get rejected. So they would rather you read the mind so they don't have to garner the audacity to tell you exactly how they're feeling.
That is a really good point.
That's a two-way street, though.
That just sorry.
Let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
I do not expect anyone to read my mind. However, I am guilty of not having a conversation because I am afraid.
That nigga guilty.
I am guilty of not having a conversation because I am afraid of the reaction of my partner. When I don't feel like my partner is a safe space, I don't want to talk to them.
Say that part again, because
when I feel like my partner is not a safe space, I don't want to have a hard conversation with them.
Exactly.
Because they don't have the emotional intelligence to hold that up.
So that's great.
Were you about to say something?
I think it's West Oak Lane.
Or no? Were you about to say something, Jazz?
Yeah. Sorry. Just to kind of touch on this. So like for me, again, I guess there's still part of me that's like a people pleaser. I'm still very shy, even as the great person that I am. I love myself, but I still get nervous with communication about certain things. However, that's why I make it a priority for myself when I start dating someone or even friendships, letting them know, setting those boundaries. Not so much boundaries, but letting them know this is my language. So this is how I speak. I don't expect anybody to ever read my mind. However, I do expect common sense, right? If I do something for you, if you know that this is a situation where, I'm having a stressful day, or, I'm low on funds or something, like help me out because I'm going to help you out. Again, not really expecting it though, right? Because I understand people have their own lives. But as far as when it comes to communication, especially in relationships, what I like to do is like, if I can't verbalize it, but I know it's on my chest hard, I'm like, let me text you, let me write an email, let me do something so I can still vocalize it. And so say like, you don't even have to respond this minute, because I feel like unless it's that dire of an emergency, I'm already going to have that energy, which might be negative at the time, depending on the severity of the situation. I'll say it right then and there. However, if it's something where maybe I'm just being crazy, or maybe I'm not really going through the process, or maybe I'm just being too needy, whatever, I text it, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Can you collaborate? Can you let me know? Sometimes not everybody picks up on it quick, But again, it's still me trying the baby steps because rejection is a thing, right? We all fear that, regardless of gender, whatever. However, in a relationship, and I tell this to my friends, to myself, if you cannot be yourself with your partner, if you never feel like they're a safe space, they are not who you need to be with. And that's not probably just a them thing. That's probably a you thing too. That's not, you're not connecting and there's a reason. So either try to make it work to be able to express yourself or don't be in that. That's it. Don't hurt yourself.
I like that. I like all those points.
Darius.
So my whole thing was that opened my eyes a little bit. I am a big proponent of I am not a mind reader. I am very communicative. You can tell me we can talk about anything. You can tell me if I'm making a mistake. If you don't like the way I do something, I'm completely fine with that. But the problem is I didn't think of the other side of it where it's like, hey, I don't have the like I feel like I'm going to get rejected if I ask you this thing, and it might not just be something that I've done. It might be something that my partner has experienced over time. So I'm always that guy. Is like I'm not going to be a mind reader. I'm open and communicative, so you should be too. But I got to take into consideration that the other person might have had some bad experiences. Not just that, but also it could be hard for them to express themselves. So like Jazz was saying, writing it down, leaving a note, leaving voice notes, stuff like that. Like there's so much technology we can use to better communicate. It'll be so much better.
I am definitely a person that will send you a long ass fucking text because here's the thing, like I am not always I'm not always the most eloquent speaker. Like I sound like a hood is John from Philly, right? But I write very well. Right, very well. So, I sound like I got a master's degree, baby. So I prefer to be able to process and write, and then I can be like, okay, I want to set the tone. I don't want to get anything wrong. Like I want to strategically, I'm not getting interrupted by him because as soon as you say something that the person doesn't like, they want to interject. So now you cut me off, and now I'm getting frustrated, and so that way I can get all my thoughts out completely, and then you can process it, and then we can get together and have a conversation. That's the hope. It doesn't always go like that, but that is the hope. Curtis, I'll say please, please, nigga, thank you. Aisha said we're afraid that you won't be able to process our feelings beyond your experience. Like, show yourself, and I will be open. Sal, somebody was trying to ask him about the school, and they dropped his ass. I didn't like that. Unless they spoke to Umar previously and said if anybody asks you about scamming in schools and stuff like that, like we're not going to let them ask those questions. But if that was the case, if that was something predetermined before the interview, they should have announced it at the beginning of the interview. When we bring people up to ask questions, if you ask this question, we are going to drop you. They didn't. Yeah, they just dropped the man. Reba said that part, you cannot be with someone that you cannot be yourself around. Brittany said, period. Okay. That hey, part. Brittany. Welcome.
That's the reason my marriage ended. Shit.
Facebook user, is it always mind reading? I'm going to come back to that. Facebook user, is it always mind reading, or is it unreasonable expectation of social emotional intelligence? Sometimes people have unreasonable and or reasonable expectations of others doing what we would do, and they're not there. People disappoint themselves, which brings us to the last thing for a foundation of a healthy relationship. You need to date someone who mirrors your psychological age. So if you are dating someone, if you are dating someone and y'all are the same psychological age, and not only that, if you are dating someone who actually is addressing like their mental health, right, their traumas and things of that nature, then yeah, you're not going to have those issues. You're not going to have as many of those issues, right? Because you see things the same way. But if I'm emotionally mature and I'm working on my traumas and things of that nature, and you just want to wallow in your trauma and your chaos and your dysfunction, we're always going to have problems, and we're always going to have miscommunications because we are not on the same page. We are not on the same page. You're going to be trying to gaslight me. You are going to try to make me believe that your bullshit is correct when I know better because I'm actually doing the work on myself so that
Keeping accountability.
so that I'm not always operating from a place of trauma. But if
Right.
you're always operating from a place of trauma, then of course we're going to clash all the time because I'm going to try to get you to operate in your higher self and you don't want to.
Mhm.
You don't want to.
Thanks.
Do I need a mind reader? I don't know about that. So I feel a little gaslight and never
No.
hurt anybody. So
Anyway,
he also brought up a term that I had never heard before, right? It's called a pain body, and
oh
I've
yeah.
never heard that phrase before. So I'm like, okay, I need to go look up what this
Yeah,
means.
me either.
So it says it is an accumulation, and mind you, this is not something that you can find in the DSM-5. So this is not in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Health Disorders, but this is something that someone came up with. It's an accumulation of painful life experiences that was not fully faced and accepted in the moment it arose. It leaves behind an energy form of emotional pain. So, after years of having different experiences and accumulating this emotional pain, you develop a pain body, and it's an energy entity consistent of all emotions. To me, that sounds like PTSD. It sounds like
Yeah,
complex
just
PTSD.
like PTSD.
It sounds like a cute way of
Mhm.
saying complex because people don't understand that there's PTSD and there's complex PTSD,
Mhm.
and that is two different things. You can have PTSD because you had a car accident, and so now you don't like driving, and you're on the road, and you have anxiety.
Mhm.
Complex PTSD is more so found in people who like grew up in abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in an abusive situation with my mother. Then I got older and I got into bad relationships because I'm already, primed to be in bad relationships because I all grew up. Now I'm going through trauma with them. So it's like all these different layers of trauma. And that's why it's complex because of all the different things that you've been through that have affected you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, So he was saying that you need to date people and know if they can deal with your pain body, that they can deal with your trauma. So you need to be dating someone and you need to already have an idea if they will be able to accept and support you while you are healing and dealing with your trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't have those conversations. We don't sit down at the beginning, right? Because we're still operating in our ideal self. So we don't want to lay all our bullshit out on the table. Like, yeah, well, my mom was abusive. She was a crackhead. My dad wasn't around. I felt abandoned. Why wouldn't you want to date a healed person? I didn't say that. I didn't say you wouldn't want to date a healed person. I said most people don't lay their shit out in the beginning. Um, most people won't dump all that on you. They'll wait until you fall in love with them and then
Here's your
trauma them
shit.
like, well, by the way,
Yeah,
I got all this shit with me.
yeah, because
So
it's a safety thing. Sorry.
no,
Yep.
no, no. I was going to
Yeah,
ask you guys,
yeah,
like,
it's a safety.
I don't know that we all have trauma. I know I have trauma. I don't know.
You all got trauma in some shape
Yeah,
or fashion.
But
I
when do you
think.
reveal that to your partners?
When
Jay?
you
I
ready to
think
reveal it to yourself and you speaking your truth.
Well, yeah, that's
yeah.
that's the other thing. You gotta have revealed it to yourself first. But I feel like those are people always get to have these bullshit notions about the getting to know you questions. Those are the getting to know you questions. That shit, like talking about that stuff, talking about the things that you're going through, how like, and it's not the like preliminary, like
Yeah.
this is the first time talking. It's like you're on the fourth or fifth date, y'all getting to know each other. You drop fucking breadcrumb it a little bit.
Yeah, I would say
Throw your
sprinkles. I
crazy
put the
out there.
sprinkles in that John.
So
No.
you breadcrumb. Some people breadcrumb theirs out.
Yeah.
I'm
But I
bad. I just
think
drop.
it's a conversation. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying I'm bad. I just like I'm like, here's my trauma. Are you all right? Did you deal with that? It's not a whole lot,
I mean,
going
that's a
on over
great
there.
first date, just trauma bingo, and you just have
Shut
your
up.
bingo cards, and hey, you get B9 for parental
I
issues.
mean,
Did you
and,
get
and
hit as a kid? Okay, high
You
five.
know what? I need that bingo card now. I'm gonna start making a
I
bingo card and giving that on dates. I'm like, heck
Cardi, that
no.
can get, you can't do a trauma bingo card on the first date. Some traumas are worse than others. Like
To
I'm
be
Well,
not
I mean, don't
honest,
forget
like
there's
I
always a
don't
free
know.
space in the middle.
who wants to talk
No,
about like there's sexual assault or
but
something
I
like
think
that on
it's
the first date.
it, I think it's a level though, right? So you can go and talk about, okay, this is I had a cheating ex and this is what I don't like. These are like not triggers, you don't have to get full detail,
You
but
want
you be
a
like, hey, this
heavy,
is something that,
right?
gets me a little too spicy. So I wouldn't do that, or something like that. What do I need to understand? What are some hot buttons? And I wouldn't say do it on the first date. I would say once you start thinking like I'm seeing this person maybe
hmm
4 or 5 times a month, I'm starting to get more interested in this person. We're seeing each other a
yeah,
lot. This is where we got to build that connection, right?
Mm,
Because I need to know that I'm in my investment in this person, time wise, energy wise, that they're worthy of me expressing myself as, bearing my soul.
exactly.
So I don't want to have to, like, I'll breadcrumb it. I'll see how that reaction is too, because just like,
hmm
you know, dating regular and you're just like being yourself. I know I had a bad habit of like not being myself on the first few dates because you're trying to make sure that person thinks you're normal, right? Like you're
Showing
cool,
face,
like you're sure
right?
you don't got nothing. So I remember like the last day I was like frustrated with that. So when I started dating again, I started doing not the weirdest shit. I'm myself. I'm a goofy person. So
hmm
I'm being goofy. I'm doing whatever. And if that person stays by the end and says like this bitch ain't crazy, then there's a potential. Then I know I can start building more with this person. Is
mhm.
it the best way to go about everything? Are you going to get some false positives in this situation?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
you will.
boy.
But
But
Oh,
no one wants a time bomb.
so here's
yeah,
Let's
no,
be let's be
exactly.
real. No one wants a time bomb.
Yeah, I
but
don't want on the wedding day to be like, yeah, this is everything I encompass in my whole life. And by the way, I have this. And I'm just like, I don't know
And
how
I
to
got
handle
two
this. And I wasn't
kids
prepared.
on the side that you never found
Oh,
out about.
no. I don't like
there is a fine balance, right?
hmm
Because I understand that you do want to give somebody a heads up on what they're dealing with. However, see, I'm always thinking about all the angles. If you give a potential abuser I am. If you give a potential abuser too much energy, I mean, too much information
Yeah,
at the
absolutely.
Hmm.
beginning, they are going to use that
Yeah.
against you. There was
Yeah.
so I kind of guard stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a test for me too. Like
Yeah.
again, sprinkling things in. I'm only
hmm
giving you what I'm willing to put out, right? What I think is like okay conversation. I don't care if other people know. I don't care what you try to react to me in that situation. And it's also a situation of if I tell you, let's say one of my little traumas, and then we get in our first argument and you try to throw that in my face. Oh, I know we're done. We're super done. But also it's just I don't know, like I said, it's very different for every individual, but when it comes to communication with that in general, right, we have to have some type of leap of faith in the situation. And also, but they also tell women too is that like what do they tell women? It's like don't tell a man what they need to be for you. Don't tell
Right.
them.
Right.
Don't tell them because then
Right.
they'll be
Give them
that
the blueprint
exactly.
Hmm.
because
They'll
then
be
they'll
that friend.
pretend to
They'll
be.
pay all your bills. They'll take you next. You're a gold digger. You're a terrible person. You're this. You're that. I'm like, didn't you just tell me to tell you all that? Like, it's a
But
trap. It's a trapper. I'm not dealing with it. I'm good.
I actually
I'm
think
good.
women do that way more often, but okay.
No,
They do it on
well,
both sides. They do it
No,
on
no,
both
I
sides.
think
yeah.
women do that way more often. A
As
Yes,
far
man,
as
because women go into it. I've never dated
mm,
a woman who didn't ask me what was I looking for.
I'll ask you this question: do you think that narcissism is more prevalent in men or women?
Um, women are less likely to hold themselves accountable. So it would have to be
It's not about
That
narcissism.
doesn't mean
it's
that's
not
not
about
really
accountability. I'm
Yeah,
saying
it is narcissism is literally about the lack of accountability. It's
that's
looking at
valid.
that's
something.
part of it.
It's
It's part of
definitely
it, yes, but I think that because of that, I think women carry that more than men. I think men express it. I think men get caught
mm,
up in it more. Like men can't hide their narcissism the way that women can.
But
So
that
But I
doesn't mean
when
them
think
getting better though, does
No
it?
one can hide their narcissism.
eh,
No
I
one
can
can.
interject
If
though.
you're truly a narcissist, male or
Yeah.
female, you can't hide it. My mother's a fucking narcissist. She can't hide that shit. She couldn't hide that
Yeah.
shit behind an Attack on Titan. Like he couldn't hide it at all. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's what you are, that's what you are.
Mhm.
yeah, I can agree with that for
But
sure.
what I'm saying
But
is, if you are an abuser, period, male or female, you are going to be morph into your love bombing at the beginning. You're going to morph into to what that person needs that you can lock them in.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can agree with that.
Brittany said
I
that's
would,
because
I
most
would
people
say
don't take the time
women
to
are.
heal from each trauma. It's always easier to
mhm,
just crawl up under the next person. BK says
mhm.
self-protection. We got Reva throwing her crazy at people right away. Sal still running amok in the comments saying let's be toxic. Aisha said I just kind of spill shit. No, you want to reconsider that, honey,
I
please.
think I'll be honest with you. I think that you can't be hurt by trauma that you've dealt with and healed from. So I
I
don't I don't care what I tell a person because
Yeah.
you can't hurt me by it because I've already healed from it. What you going to do?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
oh wow, like you telling me the shit that I told you. Like you can't use that against me.
I
All
mean,
the
that's if
I
you're
I
think
99.
don't think it's
a
That's
lot of
using
if you're
against you.
100%
stuff.
cured. But if you're 99% cured and someone hits that 1%, you can
Yeah.
relapse.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
but
I
then
think
self-preservation should kick in and that should eliminate them from your life.
But
Because
how
if
many
you
people
99% healed from it, then at what point will at how far back can they push you? Basically, it's like, all right, cool. So you're at 99. Are they going to push you back? Are you going to allow them to push you back to 50% healed?
some
Or
people
are you going to stop them at
That's all about
98?
someone's mentality. You never
some
know.
people
Some
will.
people can just crawl up in the ball and be like, okay, I can go outside
Then
today.
in my mind they weren't 99% healed. If you're 99% healed, you can't. It's no way that somebody can push
Let
you
me
back to
put it like
50.
let me
So
put it like
let
this.
me go
Let me
ahead,
say
Chris.
something real quick. So let's say like, hey, I lost a loved one and I'm 99% cured from it. It doesn't.
Oh.
Oh, you froze? Okay. Well, I'm gonna just step in while he froze.
Okay.
I so
those pictures
well,
funny.
so let me say that a period of time I was single and I did a lot of work on myself. A
Mhm.
whole lot of work before I was ready to get back into the dating field again. When my bonus baby got murdered, I unraveled a lot of work that I did. Now I became vulnerable and susceptible
Exactly.
to things that I typically would never have dealt with or put up with. I
Mhm.
regressed a lot. A
Mhm.
person can be 99% healed, but life is life and anything could happen and somebody could take advantage of it.
But that's
If
not somebody. That's not somebody throwing something back in your face,
it,
and
you know,
then
it could be. I mean, I ain't putting all my
that.
business out in the street, but I'm saying a piece somebody, a person could. A
Yeah,
person,
absolutely, they could. But in that specific instance that you just described, you're
yeah.
describing another major trauma triggering other traumas that had happened prior.
It
Someone
wasn't that
saying,
it, I'm not going to say that it didn't trigger my prior traumas. It left me in a mind state where I was not operating on 100. You know, you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
And trigger me, but I wasn't operating at peak capacity.
yeah,
Mhm.
And if you are, and thankfully because I had done the work prior, once I got to a certain point and the light went off in my head, like bitch,
get
get
your
your
shit
shit
together.
together.
Mhm.
Yes,
Get your shit together.
because you're not going to allow anything to push you back to that space.
But
Period.
everybody doesn't.
Well,
Everybody can't do that.
Or
It's
and the
very.
as
people that and in my mind, the people that can't do that or choose not to do that
mhm.
haven't healed from the initial trauma yet.
I don't think anybody would
But
not
I
choose
don't.
it.
If
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, if I can add something to that. So I think we have to look at the fact that healing comes in different forms. And yes, you could be at, let's say, let's just be gracious and say, like, we're at 99.9, being good. We're not, I would say that no matter if it's trauma or any type of pain, any type of scar you have on your life, your soul, whatever, It's never, ever, ever going to be, unfortunately, 100% healed. It's never going to be 100% because there's one part where you even feel that graciousness or that ability to be yourself again, to have that trust, to have that ability to express. You go ahead and do and let your guards down. That one person that was supposed to not take care of you, but I mean like to have that safety to be that person yourself with, then they throw that back into your face. Now, even though I'm healed and I know I'm past whatever trauma at that moment, or I'm at a point where I was okay and I'm at a better place, mindset, whatever, I'm still going to have my mourning period with that. I still have to go, wow, not only am I losing this person who disrespected me, whatever the case, who felt this was okay to hurt me, I am healed, but I have to regroup. I have to get back to that point again, because at the end of the day, it's still, you're validating your negative thoughts, right? The fact that this person, regardless of whatever the situation, puts you back in that negative space, you have your mourning period. You have to be, okay, I have to regress to that moment. I have to be okay with it and go through that little bit of journey. It's not going to be as long now, right? Because we already did that work. We already did that. However, we're still going to go back into those moments, no matter how well healed you are.
But you're not going to allow, but you're not going to go from 99.9 to 50 without stepping up, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not I'm not saying that you won't, that the hit won't hurt. I'm saying that you won't go from 99 to 50 and have to do all that work again from 50 back up to 99 as if that never took place. Because that would literally be like, cool, I know math, right? We could just use math, right? That's like saying, yo, if I know addition, then I automatically know multiplication. It's literally that. I know those two things. There's no way that you could take that the only way that I could lose that is if I literally would lose my memory, amnesia, things like that. But the things that I've learned, you can't take from me. Once my mind's been stretched, you can't take that from me.
Yeah, I don't always agree. Like, I don't agree that emotions necessarily work that way, right? I know for a fact there are certain things that could happen to me, and I ain't gonna say it out loud. I'm not going to speak into because I believe in speaking things into existence. There are certain things I know that if that shit happen, that's going to take me down to zero. It's going to take me down to zero. And I might know all types of shit, but they going to have to put me away for a little while.
So I have another
for a little while, and I don't know if I would ever be right again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but then that would also be to say that as it stands right now, you probably aren't right now. Considering that you already know that there's a thing out there that could possibly send you. So what you're going to do.
So what I'm saying is, as a parent,
I'm so happy.
As a parent, if I lose a child,
absolutely, exactly. It's something. But that's a major trauma.
That doesn't mean that I'm not at 99% or whatever the case may be. It's just I know what I can take and what I can't take.
Yeah, exactly, because you did the work to learn that, though.
I wouldn't. Yeah, but what I'm saying, anybody. So it's not that you know without a shadow of a doubt, like no matter what, nobody can knock me down to zero. No, things can happen in your life.
No, nobody can knock you down to zero. Yes, things can happen in your life. The universe and God can knock you down to zero. But there is not a person that should be able to knock you down to zero, is what I'm saying. Now, life happens, things happen. You might lose a person and all of these other things. But there is not a thing that a person can do to knock you back down to zero if you're at 99. Hell, if you're at 80, I don't think you can, something that a person can do to knock you down to zero.
Well, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't.
Well, in a perfect world, but you forget that people are humans.
I also think that, yes, that's what I'm saying. And a lot of people think they have dealt with stuff. Like even you, Biz. I think a lot of people have dealt with stuff and they really think that they are at a higher percentage than they actually are. Or that they have healthier coping mechanisms than they actually do.
100%.
Like a lot of people have trauma they don't even recognize as trauma. I literally was like at a big fucking age before I finally was like, Shit, I was abused by my mother. Like I didn't think I was like, yeah, my mom was a crackhead, but then the other stuff. And then I like was sitting, I was like, oh shit, I was abused. And it was weird to say it out loud because it's true. But I never registered it that way.
You never looked at it as
I never
abuse.
I
looked
had
at
a real
it.
question. When did I cut out? Because I missed a lot.
You were about to say something.
I think I was
gas, and then you froze.
damn because I was spitting for a minute. And I realized like everything just stopped. And I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" I was spitting. I had a whole word.
Oh my god!
So
You remember your word or no?
the train is
No,
going.
there's no point
Oh
now.
god, I'm cracking
All right,
up.
I have a thought.
Hey
So
Justin.
what happens when something happens that knocks you like Beth, you were saying no one can knock you down to zero. What happens when something happens that damages your not only your self-esteem but also damages parts of you that you thought wouldn't be damaged, like a big event, and then you're with someone who continuously pings you constantly. They see where your weakness is because they've been with you when you went through these things, so they shoot you where you're weak at. They keep popping you little by little.
Then the weakness isn't the trauma. The weakness is the fact that you're staying. Like, why would you stay? Why would you stay in that situation? Is the question you would have to ask yourself. It's not a matter of the trauma itself, because the trauma is either going to get dealt with or it's not. The real question is, why do you continue to take it?
All right.
Because so I haven't
people to realize it.
Yeah, not only does it take a minute for you to realize, but on top of everything, a lot of times when something big happens, it's such a movement in your life that you don't want anything else to change. So that's when you get the situation where you.
I get that. I'm a Taurus. I hate change. I understand. I get it. I do 100%. I understand that mentality. I was in a 15-year relationship, unhappy for 14 of them. I get it. I understand the idea of not moving. But since I've now moved out of that and I recognize what life looks like on the other side of that, I'll never, ever, 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 ever be in that situation again. Ever. As soon as I see trouble, it's like, yo, either we're going to talk about this and we're going to work it out. And the moment that anybody, and I treat my friends this way, anybody, if there's ever trouble in paradise in any of my relationships, friendly, platonic, whatever, if there's ever a situation that we can't sit down and have a conversation about, or if I feel like I got to pull the conversation from you, then it's up, end of relationship, and I can move past that and say, yo, I'm protecting me.
Now, I believe that you have the conversation. My question would be, are you really actively listening and receiving what the other person is saying? Because I
100%. 100%.
He hit strong, right?
No, 100%. The reason I say that is because we got into that argument. You and I specifically got into that argument about empathy. And you said that a person has to go through something go through something in order to be empathetic to a person. And that's weird to me, because we literally are watching a whole war going on in Palestine. We're not going through that, but we still are empathetic with those people because we recognize that they are losing a thing. So I can empathetically be a listener and say, yo, listen, I understand what you're saying. And make sure that I understand what you're saying by then paraphrasing it in my own words to confirm to you that I heard what you said. And from that point on, I can then practice something different because I understand what your complaints and what your issues may be. But that comes with empathy. That comes with empathetic listening. Without that, I would. Yeah, you're right. I'm very headstrong. But because I recognize that I'm very headstrong, I also recognize when I have to shut the fuck up and just listen.
But sometimes going through the human experience will give you the ability to empathize with most people. Like, we might not understand what's going on in every minute detail, right? But we understand loss of life. We understand poverty.
And I understand heartbreak.
We understand, right? So we understand at a base level. Curtis said, I mean no harm, but this feels like the language of victims. If I'm addicted to toxicity, then it's my willful choice and I'm not going to complain, or I'm going to remove myself. If you are addicted to toxicity, why are you even talking, sir? Because you're not operating from a good space. You're operating from a chaotic, unhealthy, emotionally immature space. That is
100%.
not, so our language is not the language of victims. We are speaking as people who are actually in touch with our emotions in a healthy way.
And
We
I'm
are
sorry.
not burying our traumas underneath bricks and concrete and
And we're
saying,
not using them,
okay,
and we're not using them as weapons either.
All right,
exactly.
I'm gonna bring this back around because, like I said,
Go
coming
ahead.
back to what I was about to say was, how you guys have, muscle memory. So things
Right.
are built up in your muscles. It goes with the same way from emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have emotional memory. So it might not click, when you're in the moment, but when it happens, you fucked up and you're just in it,
Mhm.
and it can hit no matter what time or place. It could be a smell, all senses. Emotional memory will just come like this. So no matter if you're 100% healed or not, it will take you to that place. But if you also have the mental fortitude to withstand that once you're in there, then you're
Mhm.
golden. But not a lot of people are high in mental fortitude. And this is where Basim is great because he has the fucking mental fortitude. If he said, "Hey, am I in it? I can recognize it and I can move accordingly."
Mhm.
But some people can get stuck and get surprised by it, that they can go back and regress or not know how to handle the situation properly.
Well, it's the same way that people grow up in the same household, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in an abusive household, but I wasn't the only child in that household. But we all didn't come out of it the same way.
Right. No one actually has the same experience.
Perspective is real.
Yeah, we all
Very
didn't
well.
come out of it the same way. We all didn't come out of it with the same disorders and issues, and we all don't operate in our relationships the same way.
Yeah,
But
like I
went
think
through
about
the
me.
same shit.
Yeah, I think about me and my little brother. We're 12 years apart, right? The positive aspects of our personalities are identical. The negatives are totally different.
Mm,
Partially because he saw my negativity like play out in real time.
right.
So all those things, he said, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that." But the other side of the negative things that he did pick up, or the negative things that I think were genetic, he didn't recognize that they were genetic. He didn't recognize that it was something that he should pay attention to. For instance, and I'm not saying that my little brother is an abuser, but he doesn't recognize what toxicity looks like in a romantic relationship. Whereas though I got those lessons from the time I was able to understand language. It was, yo, your grandfather put his hands on me and you shouldn't put your hands on women. That was day one. That was first conversation. So from here on in, now that's the earliest conversations I remember is, cool, don't ever put yourself in a situation where you feel like you have to put your hands on a woman. Cool. So I internalized that as saying, don't ever deal with a woman who feels like she needs to show aggression to you in order to get her point across. So for me, it's simple. The moment a woman, we're having a conversation and she shows aggression, it's over. I'm not talking to you no more. It's in the relationship. We don't like, and I don't even give a second chance for that because that's how I was raised. Whereas though he's like, nah, it's okay. She can be aggressive and we can have these type of fights and all these. And I'm like, no, that's toxic and you should avoid it. But he doesn't hear me when I say it now. But we grew up in the same
Let me
household.
ask you this real quick. Let's say if that is a situation, but you do care and love about this person, do you see that you have a relationship responsibility to help that person through that
They gotta want the help.
process?
No,
Do
no,
they
no.
want the help?
No,
Yeah.
because
People
my
don't want
issue
the help.
is no, because there's certain things that I feel like you should have boundaries in, and I feel like that's one of my like there is no comeback from that. Like I don't even want to be your friend after that. So and that's just, but that's me, and that's that boundary. I feel like everybody should have that type of boundary. No contest. It is what it is. Everybody should have at least one of those boundaries, and for me, that's that boundary. I'll let a bitch get away with cheating. I'll let a bitch get away with a lot.
Well, why
But I
she gotta be
will.
a bitch?
I'm sorry. I'll let a woman. I'll let a woman get away with a lot before I allow a woman to feel like she needs to be aggressive in order to have a conversation with me.
So
Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. At the
Pretty
same
much.
time.
It's best for you not to mess with Philly chicks.
Oh my god, bro.
I don't know.
I
I
used to
think
think that, and then I found one.
Go
no,
ahead,
I don't
Jane.
know.
They
Like
out there.
for me, it's a little different. Like I'm a very, I don't want to say chill and just laid back. My personality, growing up the way I did, I don't like being in confrontation. I don't like yelling. I don't like screaming. I don't like none of that stuff. I'm the type of person, if I have my partner screaming and yelling at me for whatever reason, expressing themselves, whatever reason, I let them go through it, right? I let them project or whatever. And then I'm like, at the end of that, just know that you got to sit down and we're going to have a conversation.
But
However,
that might be because you're a woman.
No, yeah, but here's the thing with that too. I also have my toxic rah-rah side. So let's say no, but that's what no, because I acknowledge it, because I'm more than likely I'm always that way. I'm gonna let you make an ass of yourself. I'm gonna give you that option to have yourself, build your whatever the hell. Go ahead, keep on. Tell me about me right quick. Let me hear that. Let me see let me express yourself in a safe space. This is a safe space regardless. However, let's say I have my moments of weakness and I say weakness because I like to not control, because you can't control everything, but the fact that I try to stay calm in the situation because I don't want to have chaos in those moments, especially when we want to build. However, I am guilty of having those moments where I get set off or something happens where maybe I'm thinking negatively or whatever the case, my bad days. Mm-hmm. I'm rah-rah. I am in your face. I'm super Latin. Like, da, 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 da. I don't even speak Spanish like that. I'm speaking Spanish at this moment. And I'm like, let me tell you how to move. But then I'm like, you know what? I need to, and I'm blessed to always have partners that understand that about me, because they know that those are like, it's not only a blip. It's not only that type of situation, because that's not who I am. But that's also my upbringing. That's how we were taught to communicate.
Right.
That's how, so that does get released sometimes. So I don't always feel like it should be, don't get me wrong, there's a responsibility I have to control that, to be better than that. However, I also do look for the care and compassion after, right? So if I'm being rah-rah with you and you're my partner, and it's the one time I do it maybe once every billion years with you in this relationship. So are you ready to let me go? Are you ready to, like, I don't ever want to have this person in my life because I see what she could potentially be sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, but I treat you good and I do everything else good. That one thing, fuck
can
out
I be
of
honest?
here.
Can I be honest? Can I be honest? So that's something that particular thing is something that I put down like first date. Like that's not one of those things where I'm waiting until it happens to have that conversation about the fact that I don't do aggressive conversations, right? So yes, absolutely. It's up, it's over, because I already gave you the warning of, I don't do aggressive conversations. So the moment that it becomes aggressive, I gotta go.
It is what it is.
Where I mess up at best is I told men from the start, right? I'm like, I grew up in a household where my mom got beat up. Do not make me feel as if you are invading my space, being aggressive, or any of those things, right? Because I'm not going to react like you think I'm going to react. I'm not going to start crying. I'm about to start swinging. You better listen. You better put them back on. You better know it. Do not invade my space. Don't make me think you're going to put your hands on me. Don't. Your voice better not go.
When you talk to me, sit down. When you talk to me, sit down. I don't ever want it to be a thing where you feel like, I'm standing over you. Nah, fuck all that. Yeah, no.
Right. And I do talk, and I talk with my hands too. I'm from Philly, so I'm gonna be like this when I'm. But also, alternately, like, don't do that to me, because it is a trigger for me. It is a trigger for me, and I've had to learn it. So it's like, okay, I'm going to therapy and I'm working on the triggers. But also, I'm letting you know that I am working.
I'm working. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it.
But I have.
Call me back when you got it figured out.
That's it. Like, that's it. Like, call me back when you figured it out.
But listen, men will be like, "Oh, okay."
And then I was about to say, in the first conversation, they standing up over top of you, pointing down at you and all that. Exactly. So no, because that means that there's two things that you can't do. One, you obviously can't listen. Obviously. And two, you can't respect me enough to protect me from that boundary, from that trigger. So no, it's up. You got to go. I'm not even giving you a chance for a third strike. For what?
And I should leave.
That's
I should leave after that. Because who the fuck you think you talking to?
That's it.
Because I'm talking to them like a nigga. And so now they mad because who you talking to? Now we
Turn into
both
Boxy Brown.
now we both two niggas yelling at each other.
Turn into
Yup.
Boxy Brown.
Boy, Caroline.
All right, y'all. Let's move past this one. Let's move past that part of the conversation.
I feel like talking with my hands later.
Now,
That's across the
So-
board.
Sorry, let me tell you.
we had
Mm-mm.
some ideas about the way your relationships should play out and how you should be picking your significant other. One of those things were that he believes that you need to live together before you get married.
I agree.
Because you will only
Yeah.
know the person truly if you live with them before. But remember, we weren't raised that way, especially women. You don't give
Shack
them
up.
You don't shack up with no nigga.
for free. You gotta buy the cow first. Yeah, you don't, and then shacking up and all, play married and all that stuff like that. So, do all of you agree across the board that you should cohabitate before you get married?
Yes.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
And COVID proved our point.
Yep. It really fucking did.
What is everybody's timestamp on that though? Because mine's like when I'm dating somebody is 1 year. So if 1 year, if I'm not having the inkling of wanting to be with you in that sense of like living together or whatever like that, then I know that it's something that we have to further discuss. Because usually, especially like I think it's a cultural thing too. Like we're taught from a young age, your goal is to marry right off. You don't we don't even date. We don't even say like our boyfriend is our boyfriend. We say that that's my husband, which is weird, but it's a situation that's how because like I remember like I didn't think it was anything different until I was dating one of my guys back in the day. Was with him for 11 years, but at the time, his family's Jamaican, and I was calling like this is my husband to be. This is my mother-in-law. They were like, "What the fuck are you saying? That's weird." And I'm like, "What you mean that's weird?" Because to me, that's an honorific, not honorific, but it's like I see your son as something more than just some guy I'm not going to be with for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So with that in play, 1 year. So within 1 year of dating, we should know that we're going to be living together. And it's always been a situation in my relationships. Within 1 year, we're living together. I think the most recent was like 6 months, not even. And the guy was like, "Yeah, you come in with me." I was like, "Say less. Let's do it."
That's fast.
Curtis said not
I'm a
in
good
a
girl.
relationship escalator. Typically, people are in a relationship escalator though. It's just not going to be the same. I'm visiting you on a weekend for the next 50 years of my life. You know, who the fuck wants to do that? I'm sorry. Go ahead, y'all.
So I would say so. Mine's is a year like Jazz, but it's a stretch goal. I'm going to say like so. I learned the hard way. I'm going to be like, all right, it's a year, but when the year starts coming up, depending on how the person is reacting and how they're doing things, that shows me if I need to go a little bit longer or no, this is good. Because some people, they'll be like, oh, he got a year rule, or you'll be like, oh, I think we should live together for a year. And they'll be on their P's and Q's that whole year. And then once it starts getting time, they start poking you in the chest and when we going to do this, when we going to do that, they start showing them their real self. So, and that takes a while to get that out of somebody because we underestimate a lot of times how long people can have that representative out there. Like people, I know people who had that representative out there for like 10 years. So,
you can't do it for 10 years. Somebody
So-
you're not paying attention.
Pop did.
So certain
You're not paying attention. If they did it for 10 years, you weren't paying attention.
You were purposefully obtuse to what was going on.
You weren't paying attention.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's no way you're getting 10 years out.
Psychologically,
Now,
they say 4 years.
yeah, I was about to say 4 to 5, but 5 being the cap. But for me, as far as timing before we move in together, I don't really have a date. Like I don't set time limits on things like that, primarily because of people being able to wear masks until the time is up.
Oh yeah.
So I just don't. I won't go into a situation and say, "Yo, we got a year," and then at that year we gonna move in together, and then we're gonna live together for a year and a half to 2 years, and then we're gonna get married, and then once we get married, we're gonna do this, that, and the other. Like,
I think that makes it. And I mean, in the sense of people can play a role at that point, right?
Exactly.
Because they know what the goal is. And that's what I try to avoid. My mindset of is like, if I'm really thinking about this person as a partner and a potential whatever the hell, I want to make sure that I can cohabitate with you. because I got some, you got some ticks. So I rather get that out of the way now. And like I said, I think like in my worst thing, I always negate. I hate dishes and I hate trash. So make sure those two things are taken care of. If I already know that that partner cannot handle those two things or like can't help me keep up with that, already I know that we're not going further than dating in a sense. You know what I mean? Because we can't even adjust the little things. So it's kind of helps me gauge if I even want to entertain this person for longer than that. So
let me ask Carty.
So usually it's between 2 to 3 years for me.
Before you move in together?
Yes.
Okay.
2 to 3 years. Now I'm older, and kids are involved. It's still 2 to 3.
I think
I think it's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have to make sure that you have your own place first, and you can take care of your own household, because you can't move into my household if you don't know how to take care of your household. So we have to get those things straightened out. But and a year is way too fast. It just seems irresponsible. It just seems irresponsible.
I can see that. No,
I mean, if you're fine with a year, and then spring cleaning her out when it don't work out, that's fine. But
not the spring cleaning.
Hey, it's almost summertime.
Oh, the season is over. Your trial run has run its course.
I think it's more of a feel than a set period of time. Because depending on the person, after a year, I might be like, you know what, I want to wake up to you every day. Everything just feels right. Or after a year, I could be like, no, I still don't want to. I don't want to not be in this relationship, but I also don't want to see you every month, every day. So it has to be like a mutual feeling where you're not like looking for a set amount of time, but you are coming together. Like, and next thing you know, you've been over here every day anyway, so you might as well just move in. Like, you're not getting on my nerves. Curtis said, I'm childless, own my home, and constantly on the go. Cohabitation, death ain't a priority. I don't even know. We already know how you are, sir. Like, why is you even commenting? So one of the questions that they discussed was, what do you think love is? What do you actually think love is? Now, Umar said love is unconditional and it's not a pleasure contract. And I know, Bez, you missed the pleasure contract part of it, but
that's cool. I listened. I've listened to the whole interview today.
Right. So you heard him say what the pleasure contract was.
Yeah.
He also said if you are committed to the person's best interest, even if it is at your loss, like, it doesn't matter if you gain weight or whether you lose your job, and you're to compromise, that is what love is. But most people do not actually meet the qualifications for a relationship, and saying that they're in love with the person, that they're actually just addicted to their presence in your life and what they can do for you. What do you guys, each of you going around, what do you think that love is? Carty?
Let me go last. I'm cool.
Child, Darius, you go ahead. Go, Darius.
So this is where Umar lost me, because even when it comes to a parent and a child, nothing is unconditional. That's a really unrealistic expectation of something to be unconditional.
Really?
Like, because that means that, this person is a pedo. I love them unconditionally. No, you don't. If something goes crazy, if someone goes off the rails and does something wild, you go ahead.
So I hear you and I agree, but there's a difference between I can't fuck with you for whatever the reasons are, and I don't love you. Like, just because you may have, a personality flaw or whatever, that does not mean that I don't love you. That mean that, because in that love could be, I am also going to hold you accountable for the shit that you've done. So if you are a pedo, I'm going to hold you accountable for that. That doesn't mean I don't love you, because then that would go to the idea that we wouldn't love our children if we would punish them for the shit that they do wrong.
Well,
no, we love them. We love them, but we still have to punish them for the things that they do wrong. Period.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Maybe I will love my child unconditionally, but a significant other,
Yeah.
is certain things that if you do that, my love is gone. So,
Yeah.
I think that we need to add a caveat to that. Like, if it's not a detriment to me, or it does not violate a value that I hold to a high standard. You get what I'm saying? So if you're molesting children, you are violating a standard that I hold high in my life.
Yes.
So I don't love you. I don't love you after that. That is over. I'm
So
hurt,
I
but fuck you, nigga.
so I could say in a child's aspect, and yeah, I could. But that's like I've seen some crazy stuff, and it gets pretty wild. Like there's this one story where the kid was like cutting his little baby sister repeatedly in the night, and they had to lock him into a room and stuff like that. Stuff like that. Like there's a limit to everything.
Yes.
So when it comes to love, I feel like love is understanding. Love is I always give this analogy. So love, when you love somebody, love is like you ever been out like shoveling or in the snow for a long ass day, and you cold as shit, and you come with that first feeling when you come in the house, it's warm as shit, and you feel like I'm finally out of the house, I'm relaxed. I'm finally in the house, I'm relaxed. I feel like I don't want to go anywhere, and I don't want to do anything. I just want to be here in this place. That's what I feel like love is. That's always my definition of love.
Peace.
Yeah, there you go. Peace. More peaceful. Like don't harsh my mellow. Yeah, you can harsh my mellow, but don't be my peace. Don't always come at me sideways and at my neck all the time. I'm going to be there for you just as much as you're there for me. I'm going to look out for you just as much as you're going to look out for me. It's just like a symbiotic relationship.
Reciprocal.
There you go.
Okay. Jazz. Why you
I'm trying to think. No, because I believe in love. I love it. I love love. I'm a lovable person. Relationships are a little harder for me to kind of gauge, and I mean this in relationship, romantically, family, whatever. I'm the type of person. I don't want to say selfish. I'm not selfish about love or the concept of it, but I also feel like I don't want to put that pressure on someone to be like, this is since I love you unconditionally, these are your terms. This is the terms I need you to follow, for vice versa. So if you do something wrong or you hurt me or disrespect me, did that love even exist? So is that even considered that real type of situation, or like a parent to a child? So you have parents who love their child unconditionally, do all these things, but then when that child doesn't reciprocate it, their first reaction is anger, hate, whatever the case. So did you really love that child, or was that for yourself? So it's kind of hard for me to kind of like say what love is, but I guess if I can put it in a nutshell romantically, I would say somebody who's trying to build with me, just somebody who's going to be that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking to have an empire. I'm looking to have a kingdom. I'm looking to have all that stuff with somebody that we can build together. So you have to be on my same field with that. That's the only thing I can kind of describe it. I can't really.
But what happens outside of that building? So when y'all come in the house at the end of the day and the business dealings are done, where is the romantic love then?
Well, and again, it has to go with your passion. Huh?
I said all that can be lost. You can build things up.
No, definitely. But again, it's with that person. So even though we're building stuff and anything can be taken away, but it's that situation is that it's our morals, our values, our everything together.
So you had the same
again, yeah. So it's like the same thing, like with passion. I'm a very passionate person. That's one of the first things that gets me. Once you're not on that level, not that anybody has to be that level because I'm a little extra, but if you don't have that same that passion, that burn, that drive, then we're not going to be burning together. We can't be, the extra. We can't do anything to build and stay warm when the world is cold, because you can't everything in the world against the world type shit. You know what I mean? Like that's, I guess, it. I can't really describe it, to be honest. That's it.
Yes. Sal, shut up.
Love is love. And most of my exes hate that I say this, but love is sacrifice. Love is willing to sacrifice. Love is the willingness to say, I know that I'm not getting back what I'm giving, and being okay with it. because love, in my mind, love is unconditional.
Right.
Because there are no conditions on my love. Like, if I love you, I love you, and it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to take that love away from you. I'm never going to use that love as a weapon. Like, I still love my first baby mom. Like, to the point that, yes, I've made sacrifices for her, even though we weren't together romantically and it had nothing to do with my children.
Okay.
Because I love her and I don't ever want to see her down. Period. Whether it had something to do with my kids or not, I don't ever want to see her in a position where she's sad or angry or any of those things, because I love her. Period. And I'm going to express that love to her and make sure that she always knows it. Right. She's always going to know that no matter what happens in life, I'm going to be a safe space for her.
Now, can I ask you a question? Has she done
ma'am.
anything to hurt you?
Yes.
Okay. And you still feel that same way?
Still feel the same way.
Okay. Then maybe I ain't love that nigga.
Like, I still feel the same way. Like, because like that's like saying that your parents didn't do, like, your parents are gonna fuck you up. As a parent, we know that we gonna fuck our kids up. Like, we know that. So because we know that,
Damn, I'm trying not to fuck them up.
We're trying our best not to, but in reality, we know that something that we do, and we're looking at it as this is in your best interest. They're going, from their perspective, look at it like it was something done to hurt them or something done to take something from them. And that's not the case at all. Right. It would be the same. I can't look at my mother and say my mother didn't love me, knowing the sacrifices that she made for me. I can't look at my father and say he didn't love me, knowing the sacrifices that he made for me. Like, and the worst part with my dad is I knew a few of the things that he did as far as sacrifices that he made for me, but I didn't really learn all the sacrifices that he made just to make sure that he had space for me in his life until he died. I was 27 years old. Like, so I think that's a huge thing. Like, from my perspective, it's like, yo, like, I don't ever want, if I ever tell a person that I love them, I don't ever want it to come back to me and them say to me, well, you didn't love me because you allowed, or you let, or you didn't do. No, I loved you. So therefore, in every instance that I had to make a sacrifice, I made the sacrifice because I knew that I could recover from it. It's not about, like, I know my limits. So because I know my limits, I know what I can do and what I can't do.
Okay.
And because I love them, I also am willing to have the conversation of, yo, I can't do it because of X, Y, and Z. Versus somebody I don't give a fuck about, is just a no, and it is what it is. Move on about my life.
Now, Carty said save him for last. And so, Carty, you look stressed out. I don't understand. What's going on?
Because that's what love do to you.
It does.
Love is stressful.
That's not what love is supposed to do to you, baby.
Hey, if you love in the right way, it can be still stressful.
It's going to be stressful.
But what he said, love is sacrifice. Love is work. Like, love is selfless. Love is being vulnerable. Love is enduring.
Love
is,
you sound like the Bible verse. Love is patient, love is kind, and endureth.
Because it is.
Because it is. That's one of those things they got right.
It really is. It's an act of
This South said love is blind,
love
and
is
it'll
an
take
act
over
of
your mind.
I love that song.
And that's why you can't give it to everybody, because it's a part of you,
Yeah.
it's a part of your time, it's a part of your energy, and it's a part of your soul. And it's just, you just can't buy it, and it has to be earned.
I just don't want you to look so weary when you're talking about it. Like,
because love sucks.
All my life I had to fight.
Love sucks. It's not supposed to suck, though.
But guess what? It does. I mean, no one who ever has been in love at one point said, "Oh, it was all good," because you was going to be with the same person you love.
This is true.
I debate that.
It's an ebb and flow.
Perhaps
Yeah.
your love is not healthy, and so you don't know.
Oh
The
no,
same
everything,
mortician never said that.
hey, everything is sunshines and butterfly kisses until,
Yeah.
right?
But see, all right, so I
But
will
that's
jump in
when
and
the love
say,
is enduring kind. Is it something that you want to fight for? Is it something that you're going to toss aside and start over again? Is how much are you willing to sacrifice for someone that you just bear all
So
for?
But then
so-called love.
the debate comes, are you actually in love or are you addicted to that person's presence in your life? Because love
Woo!
love shouldn't have you looking all weary like that. Will things come
But
up?
why? But why not?
But listen to what I'm saying. Will things come up? Yes, because life is life, and things will come up. But ultimately, your goods and your highs should outweigh your lows in a
But
healthy dynamic.
but we're talking about love in an unconditional fashion, meaning that I don't love this person just because of what they can do for me.
No, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not.
Then
You
you
shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's
What
what
I'm
we're talking
saying
about.
is that when you are in a healthy reciprocal relationship,
but again, reciprocation requires conditions. Me and Carty are not saying that we love a person based on what they do for us.
but
So
what
therefore,
we're talking about is actually relationships.
yeah,
We're talking about being
It's,
in a
it's
healthy
still
relationship
this. It's still the
dynamic.
same.
it's still the same thing. Like I'm not looking. I'm not in it because of what she can. I'm not I don't love her because of what she can do for me. Like it's not, yo, I love you because you make me dinner every day.
What I'm
No.
saying is you
So
shouldn't be
would it?
looking stressed out, is what I'm saying. He looks stressed out. He looked weary. I'm saying that you shouldn't look like
But
that.
don't you feel like that type of? And again, this is not down in anybody's POV about love or anything. But again, I'm not the person to talk. But doesn't that feel more of like you're not the complication of it? What you're supposed to do. That's when you love somebody, like, going back to the child love. Your job as a parent is to make sure they're taken care of, is to making sure that
Obligation.
they're, thank you, that's the word, obligation. You're feeling obligated to love in
No.
this type of way.
No.
So, and not just for, again, not just for that, but just romantically, just because you have this feeling for that person
Right.
and you feel the obligation to make sure that they're good all the time, making sure that, let's say, they don't got money and you got your last $5, you're giving it to them, now you're out of cash. You can't, in my opinion, again, this is, again, it could be a little warped, but I always believe you cannot help anybody else if you do not take care of yourself first. So if
I
I'm
agree.
loving somebody that hard, and
Mhm.
again, I love hard, but if I'm loving somebody that hard where it's at my detriment, where I'm feeling more down, I am tired, I'm exhausted, even though that is love to me, that's not fair to them, because then
But
at one point in time you're gonna snap, and I'm not snapping in a negative way, but something's gonna hit you where you're gonna be a little bit resentful, even if it's not just about that. It could be something
yeah,
at work, it could be something whatever. All of a sudden, that's the first thing. If I didn't give that chick that money, I would have had money for the bus, and I would have. Why did that come to that? Because now that's where
Yeah.
that love gets that fuzzy with the
but that
situation.
wasn't
So
love. That wasn't love. You literally
Yeah,
described obligation. You
you should
described
not
so
do
that's what
obligation.
I'm saying.
so
But
listen,
So that's
you
what I'm
should
saying.
not do things based on whether somebody is going to do the same thing for you.
100%.
However, in a healthy dynamic, there will be reciprocity if it's
Exactly.
healthy. So
Exactly.
so that's what I'm saying. You
So
should
but because
you should know.
but when you're loving someone properly, you're not looking for that. Is
No,
what I'm
but
saying to you,
what I was saying
because
to
it's
you is
understood that it's going to come back. So
if you
because
look
when
like
it
you're
doesn't,
drained and you're weary, I'm
then
saying
then things
you
ebb
are
and then things
Is
ebb
that
and
just
flow.
me? Because
But
I've been
no,
married and I've been through there. I've seen the tugs of love, and
because
it can wear a nigga down.
yeah,
I'm
like
telling you.
it's ups and downs. So there may be a time where she's up and he's down, and she
Yeah.
then has to then now she's putting energy in to lift him up. That's what love is. It's not about we always gonna be on 100. We always gonna be, no. That's not even real life. That's not even real friendship.
What if she doesn't? What if she doesn't build you up after? Let's say
But if
she gets everything out of you.
at that point, you have to make a choice and either leave or
That's
stay.
But then,
that's single-sided love.
but the love isn't gone then,
It's
because if
not,
your love
because
for them
I
was
still love my baby mom, even
At
though
that
she
point, you're a
couldn't
stalker.
reciprocate.
So
She
I
couldn't
just mean
reciprocate the things that I did for her, the things that I
Yeah.
still do for her. She cannot reciprocate those
That
things.
sounds
But that
like
does
stripper
not.
love.
But that does not say that I can't
Well,
love her.
that's what I
That's
was
stripper
thinking the whole
love. You do
time.
everything for the
Yeah.
stripper. Stripper does nothing for you.
No.
I
But
was
that's
gonna
usually my first thing. Once I don't get taken care of after, even though I do everything out of love, I don't do anything. And this is any type of relationship, even a person I just met. If you need something, I got it. We got it. But it's a situation where I had to teach, like I'm still going through it. But it's like once I don't get reciprocated, if I know, like if I ever helped y'all out or something, and you're like, yo, Jazz is struggling, fuck her. I ain't doing shit. I ain't doing nothing. I'm like, oh damn, I can't fuck with
Yeah,
y'all no more.
exactly.
Automatic cut.
Automatically.
So I think that's why I'm a little bitter, I guess. I don't want to say bitter because I'm not bitter about love. I love love. I'm spicy. I like all that shit. But
Yeah,
it's a
love
situation where
is
I'm
good.
very sensitive with that shit as well. Because I'm just like, oh, okay, we're not on the same type time. Shake your hand, fist bump. We homies now. That's it. We good. Like I'm probably never gonna see you again. So
Okay.
Got that two back.
Now,
So
let me say that y'all all answered. I feel as if you are in a relationship and all your needs are being met, okay? And we're not getting into the intricacies. Like, yes, there's going to be times I'm up and that person is down, but there's still ways that a person can exhibit reciprocity, even in the midst of me being up and them being down, them being up and I'm being down, right? There's still ways that they can show their appreciation, their consideration, their appreciation. Okay, I should be peaceful. They should feel as if they're a safe space. If I feel like you are not my safe space, that is not love. That should be on both ends of the spectrum. You feel like I'm your safe space and vice versa. I should not feel as if I can't talk to you. I should not feel uneasy or anxious in your presence. When everything else in my world is going wrong, I should feel like when I'm with you,
Home
I'm at
base.
ease. That's love to me. Is really, really simple for me. It is predominantly a feeling that I get, and there's different types of love. But the purest form of love is what I just described. Now you can love other people, and I have loved other people that did not necessarily make me feel that way. But that is also because that is me loving somebody in my lower self. I am mindful that I grew up in chaos, and I am comfortable in chaos, right? That's what therapy does for you. I'm comfortable in chaos. So when someone is being toxic and loving me, that's normal for me. I understand that. I understand that, and I know how to give that back to the person, but that's not ultimately where I want to be. Sometimes when I am at peace, I am uncomfortable because that's not normal for me. But that's actually what love is. The other shit, that's not really love. That's not really love. That's normal, and people can live their life out in that. They can live their life out in that, right? But that's not really what love is supposed to be. It's not supposed to add stress to your life. It's not supposed to make you feel beat down. It shouldn't make you feel like you got to sacrifice everything. You shouldn't be letting somebody drain all your goddamn energy. You're supposed to go to that person to be filled back up. Somebody should be pouring into you. That's what love is. That person should pour into you, and you should pour into them. That's the way it should work. When I need you to pour into me, you pour into me. When you need me to pour into you, that's when I pour into you. And I think a lot of people miss that.
But
Yeah,
when they
that's the same.
so
Kind of the
so
same
if
thing.
so then my question becomes when the couple loses a child, whose responsibility is it to pour into the other person? When there's a shared trauma, who's responsible?
Can't pour when cups are empty.
So typically,
those couples break up because it was never real love there.
That's not necessarily true.
It's a horrible thing to say. God damn.
I don't think
That's not
there was
necessarily
ever
true.
really
No,
love
but
there.
Not true at all.
Wait. Does that
It's not a
happen,
Perry
Carty?
movie.
Carty, that does happen.
Oh, hell yeah, it happens a lot, but it's not always
However,
necessarily the case.
let's be clear. You got two people, two different upbringings. They're going to both handle the grief differently. Typically, one person is going to be stronger than the other person.
For me, somehow.
So if the love is real, it should not break you.
It
up.
shouldn't break you.
It should bring you closer together.
Exactly.
And somebody said earlier, the trauma bond. And the goal is never supposed to be the trauma bond.
No.
Trauma bonding is not healthy, and trauma bonding is not what y'all think it is. People think that trauma bonding means that you went through some shit and I went through some shit, and we come together because we both went through the same shit. That's not what trauma bonding is. That means one person has an unhealthy attachment to the other person, and the other person abuses the person that has the unhealthy attachment, and y'all are in a circle of trauma. That's what trauma bonding is, and it's not healthy.
Not at all.
Okay. But if you do both experience something, a loss together, if you are really in love, it will not break you up. You will come closer together. And the days that you have better days, you help the other one. And when I'm having a better day, then I help you. That means you pull me through this day and I'm gonna pull you through tomorrow. That's the way it's supposed to work.
But that's how.
And additionally, when you go through something like that, that is when you reach out to a professional to say, we are fucking lost right now, and we need you to help us. That's individually, and that is together. You reach out for a professional to help you through it, because you're not meant to be able to navigate that by yourself.
Also, I feel like one thing we're overlooking is that your partner and your wife, your husband, they should not be your end all be all for everything. We're putting everything on that one person. You need to have everybody needs a village. No one can go through all of this stuff just on their own.
Well, when you say that to him, he thinks about polyamory.
Listen,
it's not even about it like
listen,
you.
it's not
Share the load. Share the load.
It's not that I think that monogamy is toxic, but monogamy is toxic.
It's toxic.
You can't say I don't think it is.
Wait. So here's my thing about that. I don't like the fact that y'all don't want people to demonize polyamory. But
No.
Let me finish my
Would you think that because you're looking at it like I'm demonizing monogamy? I'm not demonizing monogamy. What I'm saying is, in a lot of monogamous relationships, people don't even want their partners going to a friend for emotional support.
But you're not letting me finish my sentence.
No, let me finish.
So, let me finish my sentence. I don't like the fact that y'all don't want people to demonize or say negative things about polyamory, but y'all feel like it's okay to do about monogamy. Respect my relationship style, and I will respect yours. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give a fuck what you do. You like it, I love it, baby. But feel the same way about me. And so there's negative people on both sides. There's negative people in poly, and there is negative people in monogamy. Both can be toxic. And that's what people need to understand. It's equal. It's not one is better than the other, because it's not. What works for you works for you. What works for me works for me. And both can be unhealthy.
Yes,
that's it.
I agree.
It's all about respect. That's it.
I agree. But you do need a village. You do need there to be other people around that you can emotionally pour into, that can then refill your cup.
That is
especially
true.
In a situation where
in monogamy or poly, you need to have friends.
Yes, 100%.
You need to have a social life. It shouldn't all be based around your romantic and sexual relationships. Have a fucking life. Have a personality. Have characteristics outside who you fucking.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's that at that point when we're talking about a couple that loses a child, 9 times out of 10, the ones that do break up best are the ones that are completely reliant on their partner.
Each other. Exactly.
Yep. So
100%.
You need an outside factor. You need a village, because when y'all both at y'all lowest, your village is supposed to pour into you and lift you up until you can mark on your own.
Or the child was the only thing keeping you together in the first place. Some
Like
people don't have a life outside of their kid.
So
they don't work on they don't work on sewing into the relationship. It's always about, I gotta take her to the doctor, I gotta take her to her dance practice, they just ships passing in the night and everything revolves around the
Ships
child, but they
passing in.
don't invest in building and strengthening the relationship. So
Yeah.
because one day your child is going to be out the house, and then when it's just you and them, that's why a lot of people break up after they're empty nesters, because you did nothing to work on your actual relationship.
18 years wasted.
All right, y'all, dead. I told y'all we're going to have to break this into 2 parts.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a 3-hour interview.
I know. I told y'all.
And we talked before for 2 hours, so this is a problem. That's a good problem, though.
We all
shit.
passionate about our points of view. And then you got old King Cole was a mighty old soul in the comments. And then his 2 cents.
As at this point, everything's trash. So yeah.
Everything's trash.
So we definitely are going to have to come back and have part 2.
Yes, let's get into the num-nums.
Child, y'all ready for the debauchery?
Let me get some crumbs on my chest.
Not some crumbs on your chest.
Have you ever been swallowed?
Turn into Token and Razor off of Ninja Turtles.
Oh God! All right, y'all. So we about to go inside the box with a special request from Jazz for this toxic.
Inside the box.
Give it up.
Jizzy the jizz covered unicorn, everybody.
Carolyn said, "Carty, your beard is gone. No more crumb catching."
Thank God. That shit is annoying. One thing I hate about the beard, just the crumbs as they get into it, and
Child. So tonight we are dipping into the fetish, feederism. Okay. So feederism has been described as a fat fetish focused on erotic eating and feeding and gaining weight. Okay. There are 2 types of people who exist within the fetish culture. We have the feeders and the
eater.
The feeders.
You eating or you eating?
Okay. Sal said, isn't that when a person feeds someone food, but they do it too much or something like that? We're getting to that.
No.
So the feeders are people with sexual pleasure from feeding other people and seeing them gain weight. By contrast, the feedees are people who get sexual pleasure from being fed by others and gaining weight. So people, Aisha said, no. Yes. So where do these fantasies come from? Like, why would you end up in this kink?
Why not?
It's a few different theories. Some people argue that feederism is an exaggeration of the fact that we tend to find food and eating mildly arousing to begin with. You know, people bring food into the bedroom all the time. So a little whipped cream, a little syrup, a little honey on the nipple. What are you whispering?
If I say tacos, delicious tacos.
Now, we talking about American tacos, or we talking about traditional tacos?
Tacos that will get you aroused. Just
tacos.
You got set zone on the titties.
I do love tacos.
Tacos on the titties.
I'm not gonna lie.
Just think about tacos.
My favorite thing to do is like have sex and then eat afterwards. Like,
yeah.
Well, sex and tacos go great together. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I'm personally a sex and
pizza out and eating tacos. Delicious.
So they also argue that feederism has characteristics that overlap with morophilia, right? So that means a sexual attraction to a specific body part. And body part is characteristic, I should say. In this case, it would be fatness. And then also it could be an aspect of BDSM. So it could be like power control and humiliation. So people who fantasize about feederism also largely have other fantasies surrounded by BDSM. Okay. So I went and dug up some firsthand accounts. of people who are interested in this kink. For many of those who are into feederism, an interest in weight and fatness came at a young age. So this person's name was Patch, and they're a long-standing feedee and gainer. He said, who is sounding like a fat person snoring? Curtis, is that you?
No, that was bad hitting that hookah so
He's
damn
hitting the
hard.
hookah. Not
You far
listen.
shit
He had
way
a
too
dial
high. That
up.
joint still pick it up.
Yeah, I was too close to the microphone that time. Way too close.
I snore too, so
Oh, fuck you.
It's the second time.
Hey, Crimson.
Not free to give
Feeling like Darth
fellatio.
Vader giving fellatio.
Oh my god.
All right, so
Okay.
they said I was always attracted to fat people. I love the way their body looked, and I love seeing them eat. When I was a kid, I would stuff my clothes with pillows and pretend to be super fat. I also love playing in the mud and being messy with food. It gave me a thrill even before I knew it was sexual. All right. Then there was a man named Martin. He said it started pretty young. I say like around 14. I like the idea of girls getting fatter. I would think what they would look like with 20 extra pounds than 40. I found it very erotic. At the same time, I found gaining weight myself to be a turn on and being fed by a female feeder. So I finally settled on mutual gaining. That means that they want to gain weight and then they want their partner to also gain weight as well. And sometimes the hottest feeding sessions are in public when you have to try to not look turned on. In private, you can get wild and mix sex directly with feeding. I enjoy being encouraged to eat with sexual pleasure. Like if I'm eating, I get a reward with stimulation or spanked or pegged. If I don't eat, yes, if I don't eat like a good piggy. I love being teased about how fat I am and how fat I will become, being measured, being weighed, and made to wear clothes that are too fat and that are too tight so I can pop my buttons. And then there's a cam girl by the name of Tammy, and her boyfriend make adult films. And so they engage in sexual acts while she eats, and she starts off with a triple serving of chocolate milk protein shake through a funnel. So there's a lot of people that do funnel feeding. They eat a lot throughout the day, and when they cannot eat anymore, they put a funnel in their mouth.
There's no beer in
so
there.
that they consume more food. And this is women and men. So those are some
healthy.
examples of people doing the funnel feeding. And that
looks like the chick from This Is Us.
Oh my god. I hated her so much too. She's an asshole, yo. So the girl Tammy says, I looked in the mirror and realized I was fat one day and I felt great about it. My body looked so sexy. I felt more womanly the heavier I got. And I'm making lots of money doing what I love and I want to make any more. It cost the couple up to $150 a day to keep up with her diet. She starts the day with a huge breakfast, a waffles, cream cheese, bacon, and sausage, then goes to McDonald's for a few burgers in the afternoon. She snacks cheese all day. A couple of blocks is no problem. And then for dinner, she'll either eat pizzas or Mexican food. And at the end of the day, she makes a weight gain shake from heavy whipped cream and a whole tub of ice cream, which he feeds her through the funnel. And so the funnel forces her to drink the shake even after a full day of eating. She's not hungry.
Is this the most expensive kink have we talked about on the show?
I think so.
$150 a day.
I probably second to being a financial sub.
Yeah.
I think a financial
I think it'll be second.
I do.
You guys talk about blackmail subbing yet?
No, that's a whole nother. That's a
Okay.
whole nother.
All right, we're gonna put that on the board.
Yes, we talked about some of the things that people do.
Yeah.
Why did you want to discuss this specific kink?
So I have a love-hate relationship with this type of fetish. Mm-hmm. Again, no kink shaming, no yucky yum. Love what you love, great. Mm-hmm. Despite how my face goes, just because I am a bigger woman myself, I love food. I love enjoying myself, and I think I'm a very sexy person. Love myself all over. So
Agreed.
when I used to work my rounds, being a dominant, whatever the case may be, that was something I felt was like taking away from who I was when they would assume that this is what I was into. So for me, I personally don't like eating in bed. I don't like somebody like I don't QT feeding each other, like that's fine, whatever. But like to force yourself to eat continuously for me brings the joy from the food away, first of all, and puts it only as that I'm just a feeder or being fed for you. That's it. You know, there's no real enjoyment for me. But again, I don't get stimulation from it. So again, that's kind of moot. Like that's for the people who like it. But I feel like there's also misinformation about it where people who first started into it, especially women who feel bad about themselves, who have low self-esteem, they're like, oh, I can go into this and then I'm going to feel better about myself. That's not going to be the case. Like it's false love in a sense. Like they're worshiping you, but then you have the ones who get toxic with it where they go into the humiliation of it all. Right? Because sometimes this is like a big factor, right? You are being a little piggy. You're doing this, you're doing that. I'm like, I wish somebody would say that shit to me. You're getting punched. Like it's not a thing for me. I can't like, and again, like I said, it comes off where, especially as a bigger woman working in this type of industry, just being a part of that community in general, just because I'm friends with everybody, you know, I don't want to say it's insulting. It's not, but I feel like to care for yourself, like what mental, not that you can't feel beautiful being yourself and enjoying what you enjoy, but it's to me it's a detriment to yourself. I feel personally like you shouldn't have any type of not enjoyment, but like when it comes to kink and fetishism and all that stuff, we're looking to have release. So what are you really releasing from this? What are you having, you know? So to me, you're just keeping everything internal. You're not really healing from those things. You're not working past it, and you're only staying stuck. And I feel like just like that, and like anybody who does things like under the influence while doing it purposely, that's the only way they can do it. It's insulting to not the industry, but to that self, right? Because this is what the community is about. That's just my personal thing.
Oh shit.
Oh, Aisha, you said you're a feeder?
You're a feeder?
So you actually get aroused by feeding people. Okay.
No, I think Ty might be a feeder. She fucking feeds the shit out of me.
You have gained weight since you've been with Ty.
Shut up.
I like it. It means you're happy.
Yeah, you know what?
It just means you're happy, Carty.
Honestly,
No, wait. But let's be real. How many of us have been in a relationship where we're happy and gained happy weight?
Yeah, just means you're happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if my weight is happy weight, but I've gained weight over the last few years. So
Ty fed you, so it might be.
Ty feeds me too, bitch. But I will say she mentioned something. She said, you know, that if she gained weight, because she used to be in the sports, the woman. She used to be really into sports, and then she started gaining weight, and she felt more womanly. As a person who was like a zero for most of my life, even after my children, I barely gained any weight. Like it took a long time for me to gain weight. I do feel more womanly with more weight on my body, and
more curves. Is that it?
Yeah, more curves, more plush, more squishy, like
voluptuous.
It's weird. It's weird because I have a love-hate relationship with it because it's just like, okay, I can't wear all my old clothes, but also I don't know. I never had a problem with getting a man either way because I was always like,
that shouldn't be your measure because a man will fuck a cream cheese sandwich.
You're correct. You're correct. But also when I was thinner, you know, a lot of women who were bigger than me used to make negative comments. People always focus on like heavier women being body shamed, but in the black community, it's different in the black community. Thin women are body shamed in the black community, not in the white community. In the black community, they want you to hit hips and butt and stuff. So me being naturally thin, you know, women would always make negative comments towards me, and God forbid I say anything. It's like, oh, bitch, you skinny. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So I just always tried to lean into my thinness. Like, okay, well, I don't have the titties and the ass she got, but I could wear this crop top and I could wear this string bikini, and she might not feel confident enough to wear that. So it was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, go eat a ham sandwich.
somebody going like it. Somebody ate the ham sandwich and these jams, baby. Okay.
Yeah, no,
I
do
knew
agree
as soon
with
as he
that.
said
Now-
that she was going to say that.
Now I get to have a different experience. So
Mhm.
that's why I get mad at young girls who want to run out and get BBLs
Yeah.
and get breast implants and stuff.
Yeah,
because
just let your body, you know what I mean?
give
Just
your body
give your body a chance. Like,
yeah.
But it's quick satisfaction, you don't got to do the work. You know, boom. I think it's annoying.
But then you don't have nowhere to go. If
No,
you
exactly.
go get the 40-year-old body,
yeah.
where do you go?
Now what?
Here?
Yeah, now you're gonna be 40
Now
looking
you
like
stuck.
you 60.
With 40-year-old plastic up in you, or 20-year-old plastic up
And
in
I
you.
went to school with girls that was like had the 40-year-old grown woman body. It ain't looking so great right now.
I
So
don't know, man. One of your friends, I
Gravity's-
saw her when she was
gravity's
18, and she had that 40-year-old body at 18, and she is now 45-ish, and she still got that 40-year-old body. I'm just saying.
some people look good, but
I'm just saying.
some people don't, is what I'm saying. So let your body mature.
And
Like,
matter of fact, that's two of your friends that I know that I'm like, no, there's two of them
and
that
I can
and they were 16 and both, well, no, the one didn't, but at 16,
Yeah, I
one
was
of them
gonna
had a
say,
40-year-old body.
and show you some people that they ain't go well for them.
Oh, well, listen.
What I'm
Listen.
saying is, enjoy wherever you're at. Learn to appreciate and enjoy your body where it's at and where you may end up. Shannon said, and that 40-year-old body needs maintenance every so often. It does.
100%.
It does. But let your body play out. As women, we go through a bunch of changes.
Yeah.
And don't yuck. Don't yuck. It might be somebody else's yum.
Oh, yeah, same. Exactly. It's not for you, but it's for somebody else. And if it's not, it's definitely for me.
And it's crazy because I would never assume that you were into the feederism kink.
I think it's especially like when I started when I was like what? Well, I started training at an age I'm not going to talk about, but over 18, when I started actually being in the industry, that was automatic. Because first of all, it's also easy money for a lot of girls who are just starting out. So what are you going to do to the quickest fetish? Like, I'm a Latin woman. They want, oh, you want to do the Latin thing. So you want to play on that. I'm not playing on that shit.
Right.
Because I don't speak Spanish. How am I supposed to keep up? I think it's not going to happen. And it's like,
they got to get you mad, baby. That's it.
No, exactly.
Gives you some bad.
But yeah, look, I tried all that. But anyhow, but like the feederism thing too, like it's not just about that, it's about feeling like royalty. So like a lot of feeders likes to do that just because they can make that person feel like they don't have to do anything. So they want them like bedridden, and that's not something I see for myself. I'm a very capable person. Like I said, even I'm a big person. Like I said, they also associate that with being a bigger person, or any any woman in general, or any person in general. But like, oh, you're a bigger girl, so you have lower self-esteem, so you can do this, that, and a third. Oh, well, you could also do this because it's easier. You're easily going to make more money. Or they'll see that as an opportunity to project how they want. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to eat. I'm sorry. Again, not yucking nobody's yum. As much as I love ice cream and I love food and I love all that shit, I can't. Don't feed me like no animal like that. I'm not. Unless it's alcohol and it's a dare, but that's a different story. That is a no for me. I just couldn't. But it's a situation. It's not meant for me. So for those who love it, go off. I love that for y'all. But do it healthy, do it safely, and don't let that shit get too crazy.
Well, don't fetishize, plus size women and plus size.
Oh yeah.
Now, okay, all right.
I feel that.
Did you say why not, Vance?
Huh?
Let Carty finish.
Oh no, I'm just looking at Sal comment. I'm just thinking like Sal's gonna slide in your DM, Jazz, and be like, I want you to dress up as like Marie Antoinette and feed me cake until I puke.
That's very
that's the shit.
No,
Okay, so I mean, I don't know if any of y'all necessarily qualify as BBMs. I don't
I'm
know,
thick.
Darius, you a little thick. Carty, you
Oh,
get
I
I
got
mean,
the
like,
belly,
there ain't
the dead
nothing
body.
like drinking a milkshake and getting your dick sucked. Oh my god. Let
what?
If you haven't done it,
Nah, I mean,
try it.
yeah. The only thing that could possibly be better than that would be like a Q-tip in your ear while you getting your dick sucked.
Carty, you was drinking a
Mm,
There's too
milkshake
many
and
moving parts.
dick suck.
mm.
What,
I already know, brother. I already know.
Wait, I'm mad he got a Q-tip.
you got a
Q-tip right. See?
Uh,
listen. I don't even understand how
Get the
somebody
foot
get out
stomping
of the
and shit.
shower
You
and
just be like, ooh.
Wait, what kind of milkshake was it?
does it matter?
Cookies and
I want to
cream.
know. I got questions. That's why
Cookies and
we
cream.
Cookies and cream.
Mine was
cookies.
strawberry.
It's
Yeah, I'm
good.
with you, Bess. I'm a strawberry.
Yeah,
So
mine was
y'all
strawberry.
want to drink strawberry shakes and have your dick sucked?
Yeah,
Oh my
I've done
fucking
it.
And
god.
see,
It's
all
not.
right,
It's
so
not a.
It's
I've
the
done it.
shit.
It's amazing.
yeah,
I said the
and I
only
don't
thing
want to.
close is the Q-tip in the air.
Yeah,
That's it.
man.
That's the
Come
only
on
thing
in.
close.
Freddie Jackson's sipping a
But are
milkshake
you
in the
drinking
video
at that
store.
magnitude though? To have in that situation, to have that
Oh,
same
it's a big.
feeling
It's a
like they would.
big one.
So
Can I
women
add,
out
add
there,
one more
get your
point?
man a shake.
I guess so.
And I'm lactose intolerant now. Well, I'm not really. I think I'm
This
close
man
enough.
I
is
don't.
coming at 87%.
But you know, the gas
I
comes
don't
later.
care.
We worry
Yeah,
about
I
right
was about to
now.
say worry about that later.
Yeah,
Right
we
now,
got some
yeah, right.
lactate pills. We'll take care of all
Yeah,
that.
we'll be all right.
So,
Darius,
so,
have you ever been fetishized as a
oh,
as a thickums?
yup. All right. So,
Probably
funny
that white
thing.
woman.
All the girls in my high school, I have a pump. I have a fat ass. Like
You
just
do
I'm
have,
throwing it out there.
yeah. He got cakes. Cakes are popping. Go ahead.
So I have been getting my butt grabbed by women and since high school, and it'll be like I'll be at the locker and two full hands just grab it, and squeeze. So I've been fetishized for my butt my entire life.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Now I thought I was the only one because I do like to grab men's butts.
Same.
Same? Okay.
Same.
Right. And y'all think
Might
it's
choose to hate
weird. Y'all don't seem to like it, but your butts can be attractive.
No,
Same as
no,
ours.
So
no. I
sneak
like
attack.
it. The same as when a woman like if the right woman does it, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I like her, she can grab my ass all she wants to.
No, I used to
But
love
if
my ex. Oh, I'm
I'd
sorry.
rather
Go ahead.
grab me from the front.
Yeah. So that's the thing. You can grab my ass, just don't make don't keep the finger away from the hole. Like
that's
it
it.
ain't nothing.
That's
Just
it.
keep it. Just get a side cheek. Don't go full. Don't go through the middle.
Yeah.
No, you gotta do the whole jiggle. You grab and jiggle. Just grab and jiggle. That's it.
Reva said,
It's my
wait,
babe.
thirst in the panel. Yes, Reva, we thirst in the panel.
Mhm.
The men are also
Sure.
objects over here. Just know that. Shannon said he got a donk. Oop, okay. You want, Darius, you want twerk in the camera? No.
Oh, am I going twerking the kid? All right, hold on.
Oh my
Get some
God.
stars. Get some stars first. Get us some stars.
What's going on?
Oh Lord, just put them high. Just put them
Can you
high,
see the butt?
Lord.
Can you
Just
see
put
the
them
butt?
high.
Oh, cake. I have money.
Twerking the camera. I will twerk in the camera.
Thank you.
Hey.
I have no shame in my game.
Gang.
Oh my God, I'm cracking up. Yo,
Come on, Thunder Cheeks.
you gotta go to twerk. You gotta go to a twerk class because that was
It was terrible. I don't twerk a lot. Y'all wanted to twerk. I gave y'all the twerk. So
He dropped it like it was hot, real quick.
You did a Tina.
yo,
I did it. I was about to say. I gave y'all the Tina.
Carolyn said, hey.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Oh my God.
I can't. I'm not pretty. I'm not too good at the twerking, but I will twerk if I'm asked.
I'm cracking up.
Appreciate that, man.
I'm cracking up. Lord.
That nigga thirsty as shit over there. God
It might
damn.
be. It might be. It might be.
Wait. Oh, look, Zena said, "Good googly muggly. That thing is juicy."
Oh my god!
Oh my
See,
God.
it's gonna start again. It's gonna start again. I was harassed in high school. They used to like there was so many of the like popular girls that would just be looking at me. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there's your ass.
Yeah, we
That
so men
booty.
just
So-
know that we do appreciate a good ass. We really do.
I just got one
like
question,
that,
D.
and I won't.
Wait, go ahead, Dance.
I got one question, D. Did you take advantage of any of it?
Oh, you will damn right, bro. Yo,
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's all.
It
I
ain't
need.
tricking if you got it.
It
it
ain't
needs to
tricking
be
if you got it.
Reciprocal
Ass grabbing. Absolutely. You grabbing mine, I'm grabbing yours. Ain't no way.
Cracking up. I'm cracking up. So if we go back to the Lord, I'm cracking up. If we go back to the feederism, there are people that also engage in something called piggy play. So the child.
I will play. That's cool.
How many
That's
do
right.
you have?
Is that fucking Piggy from the Bronx?
The fat person
Yes.
wants to be a pig, and this can go from dressing up as one or eating out of a trowel. Yes.
Oh no, they're no.
I know. I was surprised the black girl did it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? Go off, I guess.
But there's
strap is
people,
going on for
there's
airlines.
people
Jesus
that
Christ.
pay money to them to do it. They're not doing it just to do it.
Okay.
Those women are doing those things because people are paying them money for that. They make
Very good money.
they actually make good money doing those things. And so it may come across as, degradation to us and humiliating to us, but there's somebody that's like, oh my gosh, she's so hot.
Yeah, but that's still a kink.
Still
Degradation is a kink.
But that's what piggy play is. That's just something they love that. Again, good money, definitely. And the fact that I think one of my girls, she was into it, and I think her allowance, I guess you would say, from just one supporter was about $1,500 by itself, plus their credit card was on their food account. So anything Uber Eats, anything like that, straight up, I think she was consuming like about 6 or 7 meals a day.
That's crazy.
And all she had to do was record it and send it to them. I'm like, go off.
That's like 8,000 calories.
But can I do they want a skinny pig? Because
you know what, I'm pretty sure there is. But again, like I said, the easiest thing to do, be a sugar baby or be a legit one, a courtesan. Let's get straight with that. But just do fine diamond. Just do fine diamond. It's easier.
I'm not going to buy food for myself. I'm going to be buying food for my kids and my house and all types of shit.
No, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's why you do fine diamond. You literally just say, this is what I want, and they pay it. Just let it be. And half the time, I don't even got to talk to you.
Okay, Shannon. Because,
I should gain a couple more pounds. I don't know.
Some of these dudes sound like they played too much Altered Beast growing up.
But it's not just the women, it's also the men. So there are men that are doing things called like belly bloating.
Mm-hmm.
Where, the man looks like he's pregnant, and like there's women. Yes, exactly.
Oh no.
Like there's people that are attracted to this. This turns them.
Those donuts look good though.
Those donuts did look good.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
They were fresh. There are
freshly iced.
And then we have people that are into crushing and squashing. So you see that little hand? Keep that picture up there.
There's a man down there
sticking up. There is a man under her.
So there's a woman.
She look like she melting.
There's a woman that killed her husband right before COVID. Right before 2018, 2019. There's a woman that killed her husband. He would their thing was he would stick his whole head in her vagina.
Oh fucking Jesus!
Wait, did you already tell me this? Because I'm like,
I didn't tell this to you, but I heard this story like I said. I think it happened right before COVID. Like she was in she had to go to court and everything and prove it that this is something that they do. Like she had to go to court and like fight. Like they was trying to charge her with murder.
I've seen a porno with someone doing
How can
that.
your head
So.
fit in my vagina?
He wasn't. He was a
It's
very very slight built man. Like he wasn't big at all. His head was probably the size of like a 12-year-old boy's. So
my son is 11. His head cannot fit back in there.
Okay.
He can't go home.
Not if you train it.
Listen, she trained it, and he would stick his whole head in there.
You trying to get to the upper room.
And that's what he did. He ended up killing him. He ended up dying.
Fist, arm, head.
I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
I'm stressed out because what? Do you know how big an 11-year-old's head is? Did he die? He really died?
So that happened. So that was like the first time it happened, and then later on he died. Yes.
I want to point out it said the Asian.
Why would you let him do it again?
Yeah, I was about to. Exactly. I was like, okay.
Well, no. So that might not be the same couple. It was a white couple. Like it was a white couple. The woman was like super obese, and he was like very slight. He was probably like maybe 5'11", 5'10", and like super slight built. And that was how they got off. And he ended up dying.
This is something I want to address when we get further in the Dr. Umar conversation, because he made an ignorant comment about a woman and her loose vagina and stuff, and woman's vagina.
I don't think that's how it was meant, but I do know what you're talking about, and I was seriously offended when he said it, because he definitely woman thou art loose is what I heard when he said it.
Thou art loose vagina and all that stuff. Your vagina goes exactly back to the same shape that it was. So I am it does. No matter how many sexual partners you have, the vagina goes back. Yes.
If it goes back and the original spot was still too wide,
so you're saying it was big as all our
still considered loose.
Well, if it was natural,
a lot of men will consider it loose if they don't feel anything when they go in.
I
didn't say that.
I have experienced a couple of loose vaginas.
I didn't say that.
I'm pretty endowed, so yeah, it's a thing.
Make them comfortable.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if it's already, but what I'm
saying to shit off.
Carty, what I'm saying to you is, those women were probably born like that. It wasn't because of her sexual interactions.
Oh no,
she's naturally like that, or
she really liked you,
huh?
Or she really liked you.
Or
that's the other part of it.
Became like that is from another medical reason, not because of how many partners she had. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I want people to stop.
I mean, it can lose its like elasticity over time, and they have like vaginoplasties and rejuvenations.
Yeah, but I think
so. You have that going for yourself.
It's not because that she's experiencing sex with multiple partners or different shapes, whatever the hell.
No,
it's
the body
because
like
life goes on. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, I'm being messy. Sal said, has anybody experienced dealing with a broken pussy? And I'm being
What's the broken pussy?
I'm being messy. I'm being messy, and the person I'm being messy to know what.
I wish I had some water. I don't drink all the fucking water. I'll drink all the water for the show.
Like it doesn't work?
You might as well go ahead.
It doesn't work? I'm confused.
You should have ignored me completely.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Go ahead.
In hindsight, it could have been me. The body wants what it wants, and sometimes if it refuses, it refuses.
We need more clarity. We need more clarity. You ain't gotta say who. You just gotta say the how and the what.
I don't remember how and the what now.
You are lying in the truth.
No, you put me on the spot, so I forgot. But all I remember is like, hey, this ain't working how it was supposed to be working. And
he told this woman she had a broken pussy.
Was it?
Look,
He
I mean,
told her she had a broken pussy.
How is it broken? Like, did it close up? Did it swell and close up? Did it like deflate? I'm trying to understand which way it went.
Yeah, like how was it broken?
I mean, do y'all remember the first season of Insecure?
Yes, sir.
I hated it.
And Issa girlfriend was just like, my pussy don't want to work. Like, I want to fuck this dude, but my pussy just refuses to let me fuck. Right?
Okay.
I get super dry,
I was thinking
and it just doesn't want to do its thing.
All right.
And she was like, I think my pussy's broken.
No, she might didn't like him.
And then she was singing this song, "Broken Pussy."
She started singing the song. And in hindsight, but in hindsight, yeah, it could have been many factors. Fuck, it could have been me. It also could have been her too. But as me now, many years later, I've come to learn that your body wants what it wants, and what it will reject, it will reject. So to a point.
I have a story. So I had a partner who she was allergic to latex, and she was like, all right, we got to get it in real quick before she closes up. So we were going, and neither of us had come yet, and then she just started she pulled the condom off. And then when I tried to go back in, it was just like pull the condom out and then put a new one on, try to go back in. It was just like
nothing. It was not
nothing.
Going in.
Closed.
It was not there. Gone.
Yeah. And that was an allergic reaction. She didn't have to go to the hospital. She did use an EpiPen. But even with the EpiPen, it took a while for everything to shake out.
Yep.
She didn't stab her pussy with the EpiPen, did she?
No, you put it in your thigh. You always put it in your thigh, Carty.
What? Wait. So, Bass, you and Devil both fucked a woman with a latex allergy and her pussy closed up while y'all was fucking?
That's on y'all. That's horrible. You gotta keep a lambskin on you or a non.
So why did you use the
condom? Because I wasn't told.
So I was told. I was told, but I didn't believe her. Listen.
Oh my God.
Listen, I didn't want to risk it. I was like, I just didn't believe her, so I just strapped up just to just to be safe. And then the funny thing is, it's probably one of the few times that I thought about that and was like, yo, I'm gonna be safe.
Yep.
Like most times,
so most times, kids. So
I'm like, most times she'd have carried number 8, and it was like, but that day I was like, nah, not at all. You're not getting me, I'm cool. Like I done made this mistake, but at this point 5 times prior, I'm not doing this again.
It's not happening.
Yeah, so I didn't believe her, and she was like, all right, watch this. And literally, like,
watch this.
Like literally, like once she relaxed, I had to reach in and grab the condom out and everything. Like it was
Well, that doesn't necessarily denote allergic reaction because I've had lost the condom inside me before.
No, the allergic what denoted the allergic reaction was feeling like we went from vaginal to anal. Like that's the allergic reaction. Like
and the inflammation and redness.
Yeah, that's The
question is this: when your partners say, "I'm sorry to interrupt."
Stop.
I'm just thinking that you
Sometimes
finished.
you had a condom on, and then like if he goes soft while he's inside you, then the condom when he pulls out, the condom is lost inside of you.
Yeah.
Not lost. It's there. You can go find it.
I'm just saying he asking the question. I'm saying you got to go in there and get it out. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, deep diving in that is not fun.
We grown. It happens.
It happens. I'm not.
Yeah. I mean,
now that could turn into a fetish for me. Never mind.
You like fisting?
Yes.
What?
I will say that I did.
Let me see your hand.
My hand's not that big. My hands are smaller than Tim Tebow's.
Them knuckles is big.
My hands are smaller than Tim Tebow's. It's the camera.
those knuckles are big.
I can't palm a basketball. I gotta throw a football from the very back nipple. Like I have very small hands. Like
he's just like Donald Trump. He's just got Trump hands.
But nah, my hands ain't that small. That's why I said Tim Tebow. They're smaller than Tim Tebow's. They used to get on Tim Tebow for not being able to grip a football. And my hands are a little bit smaller than his. I can't grip.
My hands are small. I don't have a big hand.
Yeah, your hand's smaller than mine.
Right. That's what
my thing is.
I can't do none. I can't do none.
What does it for you? It's just like I just wanted to make you a human puppet.
I ain't fixing nobody.
It's
taking me into a finger puppet at that point.
I have if there was ever a fetish that I'd have to admit to, it would be I won't say filth, but I like mess, like especially like vaginal mess, just everywhere. So
what you mean?
Yes, I got one. Yeah.
Wait. Shannon said not a human puppet. So no, Baz, let's go deeper.
Yeah, that's what I said. Just...
Like I like women. I like women that can squirt. Like I like women that can relax enough to be able to squirt.
I can't relax, Baz. I cannot.
Because you're afraid you're gonna pee. You gotta. So I'm all right. So real quick, I'm gonna make this in as soon as you can mentally break this barrier, you'll be able to do it.
Okay.
Associate pissing. It's going to take a while, but associate pissing with pleasure. Like even if you have to do something like practice like holding and like almost holding your pee to the very last minute, but only do that shit in the house. Don't do it outside. Like hold it to the very last minute so that when you finally do release, it actually is pleasurable. And then when you want to do it, drink water the whole day, like as much water as you can drink for the day, right? But you're not gonna hold it. You're gonna piss as as the day goes through. You're just gonna but you're drinking a lot of water, and then right before you have sex, empty your bladder out again.
Okay.
And as soon as you come,
this is the 1, 2, 3 of squirting. Okay.
I think that's my problem. Like as soon as I get right there, I'm like, I gotta pee. I don't want to pee. I have to pee.
But you shouldn't be able to think in the middle of it.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's the problem. You got to stop. You stop thinking and just breathe.
It's the squirtonomics of it all.
And you also have them press down on your on your belly.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be the one.
I just say I don't care down this up.
Yep.
Like I like a mess. Like so, it is what it is. We can change the sheets. It don't matter. Like these is washable.
Listen, I got rubber sheets, so
like exactly. Like we can go get some vinyl sheets all day. Like we could, if you want to be really into water sports, we could do it.
We can do it. We can do it. Slip and slide all stars, taking over 9-9 and 2000.
So wait. Daquan said make it extra nasty.
Extra nasty.
So wait, okay, Jazz. I take it you're a squirter.
Yeah, but I'm more of a gusher, I guess you could say. I like doing that more.
Yeah, so I prefer gushers. Squirters is too much a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like then it's just a stream.
Well,
but a gusher,
tell me what the difference is.
A gusher is just one short burst.
All that shit at once.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Like splashing your face with water in the morning.
Yeah. It's like I think the only times I've ever went to that extreme, like with squirting, was like to punish a partner in a way, you know what I'm saying? But as like more of a gusher is more pleasure for me because I'm like I said, I don't think about it. Like I said, I don't care if I make a mess on the sheets because I'm usually not in my bed, and if I am, I already took precautions. Okay. So just it's like about enjoying it to the limit, like enjoy sex. It's like not be. I don't want to say nasty. I say getting nasty. I'm getting nasty. I'm getting whatever. You know who I am. You see my shit.
I can't relax. I can't relax. And once I get to that and I feel it, that's the problem. Like I cannot relax.
But that's I think too that I think you need a different type of place. So like if you're at that like part where you feel like you're about to start retracting yourself, like stop trying to do something. Have your partner, whoever, or try to switch something up to kind of trigger you into doing it little by little. Because the reason why, because I used to be afraid all the time. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to make a mess. Very ladylike type shit. And then one day my partner was like, I don't give a shit. You better do that. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm doing it.
That's it.
And I did it. Fuck it.
Man, I'd be like, well, if you want me to piss on on you, I could just straight pee on you, but
you better hold that motherfucker.
Yes.
How about you just start in the shower first? Like, get dick down in the shower and just pee.
Yeah.
Get dick down in the shower and just pee.
But it's about like not thinking about it too much, but also think about what is stopping you from it. It's something like I said, it's part of your body. It's natural. It's meant to be done, right? So especially if your body wants to do it, there's a reason. Listen to your body.
Well, I can be honest that this past year is the only time that somebody has Shannon. This past year is the only time that I've gotten. Well, we in 2024, but yeah, the past year or two is the only time that I've encountered situations where I actually was like, "What the fuck is that? I gotta pee. I gotta go somewhere from stop. What are you doing?" Like,
all right, well, don't do that. Just let it happen.
Relax, baby. Let it hit. That's
Just
how
relax,
I feel about
baby.
men that won't let me peg them. Like, relax, baby.
Oh my god.
All right, so that's different.
What?
Because it's a level of trust that has to be established
on both sides
before that can happen.
On both sides.
How
but
I get
when
it.
it comes to gushing or squirting, those are two different
let
things.
me peg you
Because but for you it's the same pleasure zones. For him it's a different it's a different pleasure zone. If he's never experienced that in any other way, then pegging shouldn't be first. Like you gotta.
You're not new here.
It.
You're not new here, and
I feel like it all comes back around to pegging and her.
But I'm
fucking
always
fantasy.
going back to pegging.
We gonna start calling Siren.
Like, how about you start with, because pegging is giving up a lot. Like pegging is giving up power, is giving up a lot.
Hey, man,
whereas though,
if you practicing my
booty and your stroke all fucked up, you're gonna hurt somebody.
I'm gonna start calling you Peggy Hill. That's
I want to stick my tongue out while I do it. Like,
and this is why you don't deserve it.
Wait, wasn't there a whole conversation about how girls can't stroke because it's like too strenuous? We've been doing it our whole lives, and they get like 2 minutes in
I'm
and they get tired.
baby. I could do it. I can whine. I could tick. I could twerk. I could. Well, I ain't that good of a twerker, but whine.
Neither am I.
And tick. No, you're not. But
I don't care.
Caribbean, so I can whine and I can tick. So I feel like my pegging it'll be good.
How about you just start with like getting a toy and like a prostate like massage? Like start there.
If I do it to myself, I'm definitely
No. I'm saying do it. I'm saying use the toy on him, and then because again, the idea of pegging is a lot. Like it's a lot of trust given up. Like I'm giving up trust. I'm giving up everything in that.
I get a little slap and tickle. That's
God has forsaken us all. You're straight so far away. So far away.
They
so far to the light of God.
They trying. I'm going in raw.
Y'all when BK would like speak up and say something. You need BK.
I'm gonna put like honey on it.
Oh my god.
Honey on it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
People urinary tract infections now.
I can't. If I'm pegging him, I can't give him a urinary tract infection.
What about his urinary?
Why give him some anus infection?
Are you gonna eat it?
Why do we? I was about to say, if you're not going to eat the honey out, why are we putting it in?
I will.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Why you like JJ for good time?
Yo.
I will. If you just get out the shower. If you just got out the shower, right?
Man, booty just glistening.
Listen,
and you've expressed. You got to also think about the fact that you're expressing his anal glands as well.
So okay, you just doing this? You're just separating and.
Y'all ain't seen my TikTok video where I made a video when I was talking about eating my man's ass. Like I made a whole TikTok video, and
Wait, anybody? He have to have an enema first? When do you have to have an enema first? Just to make sure I don't nothing.
Yeah, that's just in the prep work. So that's in the prep work. So
all right, guys, it's been a hell of a show.
Bass know what to do. He know here.
So I've never been pegged.
Never.
I've never been pegged.
And for those who are new here, when
Without
I use it,
latex.
that means allegedly. Zena says she would love
All
to
women would love. All women wants to peg a guy one time just to say
Zena,
that they did it.
have you been
No,
practicing your
I'm not
stroke?
into it.
Jazz,
I got too much.
you never pegged anyone?
I've been offered, and I'm just if I'm not into it, I feel like I can't do it justice. And if I feel like I'm good with humiliation, I'm good with a lot of other things. That I just can't. I'm just like, I gotta do too much, I guess. I don't know. I'm lazy. I'm a princess.
I'm silly. They probably gonna be like,
all right, put up the last comment. I did what?
Shannon said I had a dude
that
that was into prostate patoodling. It wasn't my
patoodling.
It didn't work. He probably
patoodling. I need to look that word up. Patoodling.
That's a slap and tickle.
So I'm thinking that she means.
Okay. It sounded like spelunking to me.
But here's my thing, man. Like, if you allow your prostate to be patoodle,
Child, I am not surprised.
you are going to come really hard.
Yeah.
I want to do it one day. I haven't gotten the heart.
Bass, just you. So get like.
Listen, everything that I just told you, I am considering.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, the same way you want me to relax and let piss all over somebody's bed. You know what I mean? Let somebody patoodle you. Darius, you laughing way too hard.
I just like tickle.
Have you ever been?
That just sounds like that's violating. Like that's just some.
Have you ever been
Fiddler on the loose?
Someone's finger got too close, and that ended the whole session. That was about it.
Relax, baby. Well, first of all, you can't have a juicy ass and think that nobody's going to try to.
This is true.
I've been trying to get rid of my ass for the longest
time his whole entire life.
Listen, seriously, I want one of them old school man muscle, but the fucking go like this, where I ain't got no fatness or nothing. So I don't got to get assaulted by you women in my butt cheeks.
Daquan said, "Full pursuit poodling is a term coined by the fursuiting to identify the action of those fursuiters who show some or all of their human skin on purpose while wearing a fur suit or costume, normally in a partial half suit mode."
Is this like a furry thing?
Are you talking about furries? Because I feel like you're talking about furry.
How far we go from furry to pegging? Wow.
It's a wild place over here.
The internet is dark and full of terror.
This is a free place to run wild. All right.
It is, and I'm not gonna lie. Fingers cool, but other than that, it's against the law. Yeah, you got up to like the first knuckle and a little bit more than that. Other than that,
we were talking about. So it was a lot of pictures that I wanted to show in connection with. Hey,
Ty, come in. I'm like, it's like about this much.
There were a lot of pictures that I wanted to show in connection with the feederism, but Curtis said that I couldn't show them. He said that because the people's stomachs were so large, they were covering up their bottoms, and so people would be perceived that they were naked.
Like Rasputia. You got on bottoms?
Well, they can. We'll put them on the Hypnotism Purge Facebook or group
Put
chat.
it on my Facebook and get shut down. You put it
in
on
a group chat, in the HNIC group chat, and then you can view it there. So head over to HNIC, follow.
That's right, Style. We run wild over here, baby.
Get in the chat.
First of all, Curtis, I'm gonna need you to learn how to spell weird. How do you spell weird and weirded? And you spell one right and one wrong. I'm confused. I don't know. I think every man should be either patoodled or pegged at least once.
Look, see, my baby making.
I don't think that pegging is necessary. I do think that every man should probably have his prostate massaged.
See, Rasta Pasta, she about to feed me and fuck me later. Set me up.
What if she ain't want somebody to know?
Prostate patoodling?
What if she didn't want anyone to know?
Well, now everyone knows. Now the Rasta Pasta, and I'm just gonna be just like rub my belly while she do it.
Sal, I am, and you wanna let me peg you. I feel like I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
Peggy
What the
Sue.
fuck?
Like he said.
Peggy Sue.
I just wanted to get a little
Get a little
pee.
PP to try.
What the fuck does that mean?
She want to get a little strap on and try to
Yeah.
peg you.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Shannon's algorithm is different than
I'm gonna
mine.
sleep with one eye open tonight. That's some bullshit.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Sal, all this shit. Wait. Sal,
Lying ass
all the
outside.
stuff that you say in our comments, you run
Nothing's off
in our
limits.
comments. You gonna tell me that pegging is where you draw the line?
No, you drew it
Bullshit.
before pegging. Said no pegging, so the line is before pegging.
Okay, but my point is, we all know that Sal says the craziest things.
The craziest.
And everyone should have a boundary, and he does. Shout out to him.
I want to do the hokey pokey, sure do. Daquan said, "What got you into pegging?" So Daquan, pegging, it is like a power dynamic, and like men always have the position of power, right? They always are inserting themselves into us. I want to insert myself into a man.
But you're not inserting yourself. You're inserting a phallic toy.
It is an extension of me.
And you.
It is strapped on me, and I want to insert myself into them.
Siren, have you ever power wash? I love that.
I want to.
Have you ever did like milking for your male partner then?
Not the current one. He won't let me.
Okay. Because I think I'm not into pegging for myself again, let's say it, but I do enjoy milking, and I don't know, it's just my thing. I'm just like
I enjoy good milking.
I've done it before.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
The person I'm currently with, and I feel like he is missing out on a lot of pleasure by not letting me milk him.
Terrible. What?
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not
Get off my screen, sir.
Call it what you want.
Get off my Y'all are so men, seriously, all jokes aside, you guys are denying yourselves a lot of pleasure.
Okay.
Y'all really are. You know, it's just a hole. It's just a hole. It's just a hole. If we can open up that, our anus is not made for y'all penises to be in it.
All right, cool. So I won't stick my penis in it.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, if we can allow you to stick your penis into our hole, then
allow. Most of the time that I've done anal, it was a request. It was never I want to do this thing.
It's still allowed. It's allowed.
No, it wasn't. It was a request.
Are you sure about that?
Tell the large gauge butthole story if it's just a hole. I don't have no shame in my game, sir. You like what? You can't kink shame me. So
I just need him to learn how to spell.
He can't spell to save his fucking life. I don't understand.
Like,
the man is a linguist, and he's
ass.
opposite of me. I spell and I write very well. He speaks well, but he spells and he writes atrociously. I don't understand.
You went to Lincoln, so
I went to Lincoln too.
Oh
yeah, he went to Lincoln for a year, and then I guess
but he also did. He had Miss Badger, didn't he?
He
probably. I don't want to say he got kicked out. I got kicked out, so I don't know.
All right. Well, either way, he ain't complete his 4 years there. Is what I'm saying. I did. At any rate. So yes, I had a butt plug in before, and like we were intoxicated, and I don't really know what he did, but he pushed the butt plug all the way in, past the point where it's supposed to be, so the whole butt plug was in there.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
It was a lot.
But was it a small one?
It wasn't like the largest size. You know, it was like a 3 gauge. It wasn't the largest size, but still, the handle was not supposed to be in my ass.
It wasn't.
Oh, that's the stopping point.
Yeah.
But it's just a hole, right?
I don't have a problem with it. I wasn't bitching about it.
No.
I took it like a G.
Well, yeah, because you was drinking. I was pretty sure if you were sober, might be a different story.
The point is, I took it like a G. It wasn't no bitching and complaining about it the next day. But so if I could do that, then men could do that. Is what I'm saying. That's all.
Yeah, that's not true. Okay,
Why
moving
not?
on.
Your ass is no different from my ass. What makes your ass different from my ass?
All asses is
It's
equal.
naturally tighter. It's
All,
naturally
no,
tighter.
all asses are equal. Hashtag all asses are equal.
Equal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Are you trying to
I'll
argue
say
this
so.
case? You really trying to argue this
I was
case?
supposed to say
Darius, all asses are equal. Somebody back me up.
We need BK on this fucking show
I
right now
agree.
because
We do.
he can let us know
I agree.
That is
girl booty hole and male booty hole.
That's
We need to know.
inappropriate. That's inappropriate.
How is that
Right.
appropriate?
Because you're saying it only because he is bisexual.
No, we're saying it
Yeah,
because
but
he's
he has the
experienced
knowledge
it.
of the both sides,
Yeah,
so he'll
like-
be able to let us
All
know.
asses are what?
We don't know until he
You
speaks, so we're gonna
understand
hold that.
science.
We're gonna
You
put a pin in it.
understand your ass is not different from my ass.
You know what? If we did a colonoscopy,
But it is.
And
We
we
have a
will
prostate
see.
and you don't.
yeah. So
The hole is the same. You talk about segregate booty holes. The hole is the
that's the only
same.
segregation that needs to happen.
Jazz, how do you feel?
Between
Do you
booty
feel
holes.
that a man and woman's asshole is the same?
I feel like they're the same to the point of sexual, right? Because it is a hole. It's just a hole. It's not more tighter than the other. However, I feel that women are just more conditioned to handle the pain of any type of pain down there, being anal or vaginal. So it's just like for us, it's not that it's not a big issue, but like with men, since you guys don't have to experience that at all, or even have that threat of it, your body's like, nah, I'm not doing that. So automatically.
So you telling me that gay men have a higher pain tolerance than straight men?
I will say one of the shows, what the hell was it called? Queer as Folk, whatever bullshit. One of the first gay shows I watched when I was young. And it was saying that they were expressing like why do gay men love having sex? Mind you, this is the show, not my beliefs in any way. But they were saying that the reason why is because it's always gonna hurt, it's always gonna feel as tight. And it's pretty much saying like because of who they are, they're men, it's always gonna be that type of way because it's not what their body was designed for in a sense.
He went to Google. What the fuck?
We can't see anything that you
I
put
can't see that.
Previous studies have shown that
Control
anal
plus.
canal muscles, both
I don't know what
seated
you are
and smooth
attempting
muscles
to
are
say.
longer in men and women.
There we go.
Studies have shown that anal canal
just copy and paste it.
muscles, both striated and smooth muscles, are longer in men than in women. We found greater vascularity at the upper and middle levels of the inner anal canal structures in men. Wouldn't that mean that
So that would you just destroyed it, bro. Like what?
Point.
That just
you're not proving what
You can't read that shit at all.
So that means I could go deep in you. That's what that means.
That's what that means. Yeah.
God damn it, Curtis. Now that balls deep. Balls deep, you hear me?
You didn't think about that before you posted it, did you? Your argument
is not in our favor, though. That's the whole point.
Your booty hole could take a big dick. That's what it's saying.
That's literally what it's saying.
Literally.
Balls deep.
I'm talking about balls deep.
Peg City.
Balls deep in love.
That didn't go the way you thought it was going to go now, did it?
Not Peg City.
That's why I need you to
All
comprehend.
aboard.
Yeah. They crossed that long dick style.
That was wild.
Long dick style, first form breathing. Yo, anus.
Thank you so much for that because I'm going to clip that up.
You hide.
I'm going to clip that up, and
You gonna hang it on her wall?
He's gonna delete the fuck out of this episode. Watch.
Oh, and I'm going to post that and hope it go viral. I'm going to tag anybody and hashtag everybody and anybody that I can this could go viral so that they know that men are built for pegging.
Jesus Christ.
As Shannon said, as a health provider, I've had to insert things into males and females. To be honest, when they're asleep, there's no difference. Science.
But is she
Well,
probing
once they're
them,
asleep.
like, or just like
The human anus can stretch up to 7 inches before taking damage.
That sounds very torturous.
that does?
We deal in science
Research.
over here.
Like, this sounds like that. What is that? What was that? Method Man on the purple tape.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sew your ass shut and just keep feeding you and
Feeding you.
feeding you and
That
feeding you.
sounds like feeder fetish.
It does. It definitely does.
It
Now
definitely
this
ties
and-
in.
It
It ties
definitely does.
Oh God.
Or, now I'm
Go
not
on.
opposed to him feeding her.
Yeah.
Like that's
No.
sexy. The fact that he's actually feeding her a meal and he probably cooked it and prepared it for her, that's actually sexy. But
We
no,
love love.
think about this, women. Nobody on my 600-pound life is single.
Exactly.
Remember that lady who was like, all you did was wash my ass. You ain't did
That
nothing
is
but
true.
wash my ass. Do y'all remember that lady?
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, though.
And we
Oh,
can't get a
this is
call
good.
back. We can't, but somewhere there is a man washing somebody's ass. Hey,
Sorry.
No.
TJ.
I'm sorry,
I just
Seville.
got
I'm
off
so
work at
sorry.
Tuesday and I wasn't ready. I am so happy
Mm.
that you made it in for the debauchery. You never make it in, but I'm gonna need you to run it back. I'm gonna need you to run it back. Also, I'm not gonna keep y'all hostage here for the rest of the night, like some people behind the scenes. Shannon said I've had a patient with a cell phone and a charger in his upper rectum, lower colon.
That
Shannon,
sounds.
how the fuck?
That sounds like a HIPAA violation. Let's not. Because it couldn't have been, but like it couldn't have been that many people. Like
now I'm not gonna
I
lie.
hope it wasn't
At
an
this
iPhone.
point, I want to have Shannon and Carolyn on a show and we talk about their most outrageous.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Shannon, would you be open to coming on a show with another fellow nurse and discussing your most outrageous ER visits? I just want to know before we sign off for the evening.
no, he stuck it in his ass because he was cheating. He ain't want to. She
He
went
said
reaching
you
for the
ain't gonna
phone.
read these.
You ain't gonna read these text messages. Bitch. Stuck that shit right in his ass.
That is the only way that is playing out.
Y'all. So next week we are going to do part 2 of the Dr. Umar conversation because that got outrageous. Everyone has their
It
points of
definitely
view.
did.
Everyone is passionate, and we didn't even. I don't even think we got halfway through that 3-hour long interview. Shannon, she is a wonderful professional, and Carolyn as well said that they. I'm just talking for Carolyn at this point. I'm
She
assuming.
gonna do it. She
Yes.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'll make her do it.
We are going to do a show all about the wildest ER stories. That is going to probably fall into mental health and also into our Inside the Box, which is talking about the psychology behind sex. So definitely make sure you are here every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you missed anything at all, you can run it back on all Head Nurse in Charge platforms. We are now able to go live on Instagram, so that is wonderful. But if you want to watch the replays, please make sure that you watch us on all of our Facebook platforms as well as on YouTube. And that would be at Head Nerds in Charge on Facebook and on YouTube. We are also on Twitch. I didn't even get to that part yet, Curtis. Where's Jessica at?
Trying to play us off like do like you ain't have 4 or 5 hour shows. Some bullshit.
First of all, Curtis had 24-hour shows and shit. I done went to sleep, woke up, and still was on the damn show. We have not had our usual stream director, aka God, behind the scenes because she is dealing with a family emergency.
Just the best.
Because Jess is the best. But hopefully she will be up to rejoining us next week. So again, like I said, run back if you missed anything and make sure you are following us every Thursday so that you don't miss out on all the shenanigans and the debauchery. As you can see, it gets a little wild over here. The unicorns like to run wild. Let me let the people know where you can find them at. All right, ladies first, because I am not a lady. Jazz, please let the people know where they can find you at.
So on all social media, I'm pretty much Miss Giselle. Well, you see it there, MZJAZELLE. I started a new TikTok, of course. It's called Fet Talk. I'm putting content out. A lot of crazy stuff. I already got banned. Well, not banned. I got cut off twice already. So let's keep it going. I like it.
Keep going.
I love it. I feel special. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, that's so nice. Love being attention. Yeah, just follow me on this journey. I'm doing a lot of things, getting back into the fetish world, so I'm really excited about it.
Woohoo!
About it.
I love it. I love it. Devil, please let the people know where they can find you at.
All right. You can find me on any social media platform with digital_devil. And also you can find me on video gaming platforms at King Blackstar, all one word. And if you want to catch these digital hands, I'm looking for some victims to victimize, especially Tekken 8's coming out soon. So I'm going to slap some people around with Kazuya. So you know what it is.
Shout out to all the gamers. And Bass, please let the people know where they can find you at.
So I am Basim the Dream on all platforms. That includes TikTok, even though I don't really put out my own content on TikTok. You can catch me on IG. I actually have another IG page that's my secret page. So
is this secret?
It is. It's kind of secret. Like the people that know ain't gonna say nothing, so it's secret. Like
we all know secrets.
But yeah, and we got a couple. I have 1, 2. As it stands right now, like on paper, I have 2 podcasts debuting within the next 6 weeks. It'll probably expand to 3. I'm looking to start a fashion podcast. I was thinking about it all day today. Probably going to find a co-host and get that going soon.
Fashion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know that's right. I love fashion. And our soft dom daddy, where can they find you at?
It's so soft,
beardless,
beardless daddy here. You go at the bottom. You can follow at the Carty Experience on Instagram, where you will find the best memes and videos that will make your fucking day. So don't be a lame. Follow that shit. And you want the nasty stuff? Go to Twitter at Bay_Chant_After_Dark to get your rocks off. Because we all know what Twitter's for. And I got you.
And then finally, I am your queen of Australia, Salt and the Shenanigans, your diva of debauchery, the official HBIC of Unicorn Straight No Chaser. You can find me on all platforms at Siren by Night, on IG, on Facebook at Siren by Night, on TikTok. It differs. It is at Siren_by_night. Have I been producing content? No. Because I needed a break, a mental health break. Okay. However, make sure you follow me on all those platforms because you never know. You never know when I might decide to go live and discuss a whole lot of shit that I probably shouldn't be discussing. I might expose everyone. Y'all never know. So make sure y'all following me because I like to burn it all to the ground. Until then, we will see you next Thursday for more shenanigans, for more debauchery. And again, support us poor struggling content creators because Kink Live, he does not give us anything but porridge, okay?
And chains us to the stove.
Well, I mean, pay me instead.
Until next week, y'all have a good night. And according to Dr. Umar, don't fuck no white man.
Or white women.
Because then once you go white, you can never come back unless you get a vaginal exorcism.
I was about to say. So yeah.
Oh, that makes me sick.
Not my words. That's Dr.
Hold responsibly, y'all.
Yeah, hold responsibly. Hold responsibly. T-shirts coming soon.
Love that.
Bye.